Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mashed Potatoes and Gravy Podcast.
Hey now, this is Gravy here. Remember, it's 2020. It's hello, ladies and gentlemen, and those of unspecified gender.
Oh yes, gender neutral, gender fluid, gender multiple.
Whatever your gender cocktail is, I hope it's tasty.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Cocktail. But yes, this is the first podcast of 2020.
Yes, indeed it is. And God, it's the same as last year, except a little scarier.
Yeah, hey, where the fuck's all the Jetson cars? We're supposed to have those by now.
No, there's gonna be jets, just no cars, flying over, dropping bombs everywhere.
Yeah, probably. So, appetizers first. What you guys been watching?
I've been watching our so-and-so president destroy the world. Yeah.
Is he full impeached yet?
No.
Oh.
No,
And he just got revealed that he ordered the assassination of an Iranian guy. The Pentagon released that recently. And,
Nice.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of
kill
tweets.
that man.
And there are still people who were, no, they actually did kill him. And there are people posting still those last hold-on Trump supporters are saying, like, it's just one guy.
Yeah.
Killing one guy has never started a... Franz Ferdinand intensifies.
Yeah, and yeah, I've seen some good bumper stickers around here that says 2020, Trump it up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
oof.
No, this is bad.
Oof.
I like the whole thing where it's just like, all right, everybody, all of you Trump supporters, get your boots laced up, grab those guns you love so much, and go get on the front lines because he just started a war. And
Yeah.
You all of you need to go do that because we didn't want him even there to do this.
Yeah, we used to kind of ignore what he did. Because
All of you need to go and do this, none of us.
Yeah. And we used to kind of ignore Trump's antics because we're like, he's just someone else is gonna get elected next election. Like, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. And then right before it's fucking over, he starts a goddamn, or probably started a fucking war. No,
There's the whole thing going around too about his tweets about like, oh, Obama's gonna start a war with Iran right before the elections to try and get like this and this, and then everybody now is like, hey, remember these tweets, Trump? Boy, sounds like you followed your own advice for something to do.
Yeah, that one good thing you did of saving those 150 innocent civilians from a drone strike, man, you just undid all of that.
Yeah, like I feel like he's the unsupervised, like mildly to moderately special needs kid that kind of runs around like a little family get together, kind of making things really annoying. And then right before the party is over, he finds Dad's gun.
Yeah.
Accidentally shoots your great grandma and.
And then both sides of the family start warring, but it's the entire world.
Yeah, pretty much. So I mean, I'm saying giant meteor 2020.
At least we'll see that one coming.
Yeah, and might be able to band together and do something about it. But
send Bruce Willis up there.
Yeah, Bruce Willis and Steve Buscemi
And a ragtag group of drill men.
Resurrect Michael Clark Duncan, get him up there with Bruce Willis and Steve Buscemi and Ben Affleck.
God, I haven't seen that movie in fucking ages.
Wait, which movie?
Armageddon.
Oh yeah, no, that's the same ages. Teenager maybe.
Great movie though, but
Anyways,
yeah. So
actually watching.
Like I told you, I started watching Krypton earlier, which
A show
I haven't really
for horses.
heard much about that.
Yeah,
I mean, I heard that it's out. I just haven't really heard much about it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's well written enough that if you just stripped out all the DC stuff, you'd still have a really good science fiction show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good thing. It's a good show. I'm a little over halfway through season 1, and I'm enjoying it so far. Doomsday has officially appeared in the show. He hasn't done anything yet, though.
Are they? What angle are they going with Doomsday? Like, is this like straight from the comics? Weird experiment child they keep killing over and over?
They haven't gone into the history of it yet, but there's a whole thing about like the plot is Brainiac is showing up and he's gonna destroy Krypton and collect their main city, as he does. And there's some time travel stuff involved. A Earthling time traveled to Krypton to meet Superman's granddad. Is like, hey man, so like some shit's going down, history's getting changed, and if we don't fix it, Superman's never going to be born. Which, I mean...
And his grandfather was like, who the fuck's Superman and who are you?
Yeah.
And then 2 hours later,
your grandson will never be born, and he will never come to my world and save it multiple times. So then a version of General Zod also ends up time traveling back in time to help, get the world unbrainiacked.
Oh, I'm glad he's a semi-good guy.
Yeah, like...
I mean, I guess if Krypton hasn't been blown up yet, he's a straight-up good-ish guy.
Yeah, like, it's the version of Zod that was Superman's enemy, and he straight up admitted, he's like, yeah, like, me and your grandkid, we're mortal enemies, but we still gotta, like, work together to save Krypton, because, if we don't, he's never gonna be born, I'm never gonna be born, and everything's gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
So, it turns out that, the L family and the Zod family used to be like partners, and they are the ones who created Doomsday basically as like a last ditch option.
Do they have this weird Romeo and Juliet, Capulet, and the fucking like the whole family rivalry going back generations or some shit? They used to be friends.
Kind of like so. Superman's granddad, Seg, his granddad ended up.
Fuck, that's a lot of grands.
Yeah, his granddad ended up basically getting tried as a traitor and executed, and they pretty much stripped the L family of, like, all their, like, nobility and shit, so... Like,
is that why Superman's father is just known as a good scientist and not nobility?
Yeah, pretty much. And, like, the way it's going, I think Seg's gonna, like, reestablish the L family as, like, nobility again later in the show, but... Basically, they're like low-level dudes living on the street, and he's actually in love with and banging a member of the Zod family, and it's not really frowned upon. Like, the way they have children is literally they'll just, like, take DNA from two suitable people, combine it, and then create a child.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you, you get bound to someone, it basically just means your DNA is going to be used with that person's DNA to make a kid. So, he's technically married to this other family, but... everybody knows he's fucking this Zod chick, and they're like, yeah, whatever, fuck it, nobody cares, it's fine, like, don't worry about it.
Wait, what's the Zod family name? Is it Zod?
Yeah, Zod.
What the fuck is Zod's first name?
Zod? Like, I don't know, they haven't touched on that yet.
I mean, like, in general, now that I know that General Zod is his general last name, I want to know his first name now. God damn it.
Yeah. So, like, that's a whole thing, but, anyway, the time-traveling Zod was like, yeah, there's this ancient weapon buried. We need to get it to stop Brainiac. And the guy who time-traveled back from Earth knows that it's Doomsday, and he's like, no, dude, if you unleash that thing, it's going to fucking kill everybody, not just Brainiac. It will kill the universe if it has the chance.
Yeah.
And that's where I've stopped watching in the show, because I came here to do the podcast. Yeah, it's a really good show.
They're totally letting out Doomsday. There's no way.
I hope so. I hope Lobo shows up. I know he shows up in Season 2. I hope he shows up in Season 1.
I can't remember, did I hear that the Lobo in this show is kind of shitty? I saw a screenshot of a Lobo on like an upcoming show that might have been Krypton, and he looked like if not Russell Crowe, I can't think of the guy's name anymore. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
But
Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. No, I thought he looked fine. Like, a lot of people were like,
Russell Brand. He looks like fucking Russell Brand.
Yeah, everyone's like, he has an accent, and I found out why. It's because the show is made with a primarily British cast.
Cool. I've heard British people do the best American accents ever.
Yeah, I know.
So, fucking get your shit together.
I was a little bothered, but it's like, yeah, no, it's a primarily British show that was filmed in Britain, so, like, I don't...
Oh, okay, I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah, like, the one American... Like, they have one American character in the show, and it's the guy who time-traveled from Earth.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So, I mean, yeah, that's fine. But, yeah, no, it's a good show. I really like it.
Dylan and I finished Season 3 of Spartacus.
I haven't watched even close to that far, so what's the third season? Because I know the first season, Spartacus, second season, he's dead, or is that the third season?
Second season's like a prequel, isn't it?
Yeah, the second season's a prequel.
Oh, it's a prequel now.
Yeah.
And it's only like 6 episodes, but it's basically the House of Badiatas getting established and like his first champion and everything like that. And then the third season just picks back up where the first one left off, where they've escaped and
oh, okay. I was thinking
all
of a totally
the
different show. I'm sorry.
shit's going nuts, and new actor for Spartacus, who I definitely still don't like him as much as the original Spartacus. The original guy was Andy something, whatever. He was just better, but this guy ends up doing such a good job. Like, still the whole time, it's just like, the original guy was better, and this
is he
like
better, or is he the one you see as Spartacus in your head when you think Spartacus? I mean, there's kind of a difference.
He's legitimately better.
Okay.
He was just like just better all around. He looked meaner, like he was way more like cut and everything.
His actual demeanor was a little more threatening as a fucking gladiator.
Yeah, which they still like. I don't know, but yeah, and then like some stuff from the prequel ends up like coming into the third season, which is really cool because it's some stuff that like you didn't really think they'd touch on, because it mainly to me seemed like the prequel. What it seemed like at first, since I'd never seen the third season, was that the prequel season was kind of like just, oh, okay, our main actor died. We got to do something to fill the void for a minute while we figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah.
But actually, it ends up mattering a lot, which is dope. And so, yeah, there's just one more season left. The first 2 seasons are out here, Jimmy. So
do you get to see?
You should watch them.
I really should. God, I haven't seen it in so long. I do remember
more of Lucy Lawless's tits. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what I was gonna. I actually forgot my question halfway through, but I'm glad that you answered my unasked question.
That's what Dylan and I have been watching, and
Sweet.
yeah, been playing a little bit of Animal Crossing. Started that up again. Kind of don't want to get too into it because in about 3 months the new one for Switch comes out. Yeah. I'm very excited for that. But
what? I haven't. What's the appeal? I haven't played it at all,
good.
so
it's a Second Life simulator.
Oh.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. I can get the appeal then. I don't know anything about Animal. I know that the Villager is a character in Smash Brothers. That's about it.
Yeah. I don't much like fighting him, but whatever. So I watched Doom Annihilation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was
Is that the animated one?
No. There's an animated one?
There's an animated one?
I thought it was animated.
You might be thinking of like a Dead Space animated movie.
Maybe.
Which I've also seen, but...
Which is really good.
Yeah, but I was going into it expecting a complete shit show, and it wasn't. It was actually, like, okay.
So it was a partial shit show.
Not... Well, the one problem that this movie had was that it was low budget. That's the only real failing I can actually say about the movie, was it was low budget. Like,
I heard it was good.
Is there a Doom guy?
No.
Then who the fuck cares?
People who like Doom 3?
Do you hear crickets in the audience? Complete, total crickets? That's a Dead Space game with fucking Doom on the cover.
Yeah, and it's one of the best survival horror games out there.
It really is.
Yeah.
Doom 3?
I've never beat it.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I played it. It's not that... Okay.
Like, I just bought it again for $8 on PS4.
I mean,
But no, it takes a lot of notes from Doom 3, which is fine, but no, it kind of more closely follows
UAC and like all the human shenanigans behind the demon stuff.
Yeah, like the plot is UAC is fucking around with teleportation technology again. But they did it right this time, and they're actually teleporting through hell, so there's actual demons in the movie instead of people with extra chromosomes, like the Carl Urban one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there's actual demons. The plot is really good.
Do the demons even vaguely resemble the shit from the games at all?
Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah, there's zombies. I think they're either imps or Hell Knights. I can't remember which one.
Are they fast and scary, or are they 8 feet tall? There's a pretty big difference.
It's the fast and scary
Yeah,
ones.
those are imps.
Yeah, so there's imps, and then there's also... I don't even know what to call him. I don't want to call him the Cyber Demon, because it wasn't, but there's like a big bad, like, Baron of Hell kind of character at the end.
Okay, do you have like a bunch of cybernetic augments and stuff?
No. This one's weird. It was an entity that, like, makes its body out of, like, the surrounding environment, so almost more of a golem. It's literally just a demon made of hell.
Okay, so that's not something that I believe has been seen in the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so
I guess.
that's a bit of a new thing, but yeah. So it's about this crew of Marines that end up going to Phobos, which is like the worst. like in this universe, like the worst posting you can get, and the only reason they're going there is because the main character.
Why is it so bad? Minus the demon part, is it just like it just sucks? There's no one there.
Yeah, like the whole facility is crewed like by a total of like 90 people, and it's basically just a research facility at the end of nowhere.
Yeah, that does sound like it sucks.
Yeah, like the main character Joan, she fucked up, and what you find out what happened later, she ended up letting like the world's leading terrorist escape so she could like save some civilians.
Oh boy.
So her whole unit just ends up basically getting punished for her fuck up and sent out to the middle of nowhere.
Oh, so they all hate her the entire movie.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And she ends up being the last survivor at the end, but yeah, no, it's just, like, other than low budget, like, the props look kind of hokey. Like, I think they had, like, one imp costume for, like, the 6 different imps in the movie. The BFG looked
so
not
it's
great.
like the Oompa Loompas from Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka movie.
Yeah,
it's literally all the same person. The same exact design.
Yeah, pretty much. But, yeah, she, like, it has a bunch of fucking great, sometimes ridiculous references to the games. Like, when they get into the first fight against a bunch of zombies, like, one guy panics and literally says, "Fuck this, I'm too young to die!" and just runs away. And then, like, 5 minutes later, the big dude carrying the chain gun shouts, I think it was like, "Yeah, I'm your ultra nightmare, motherfucker!"
Oh, hell yeah.
And, like, there's, like, when they get to the hydroponics area, there's, like, walls that are covered in ivy that look just like the ivy-covered walls from Doom 2. They end up having to find the red, blue, and yellow key to get to, like, the last part of the lab.
Okay.
Yeah, like, you can tell that...
So this entire movie is made by underfunded nerds who kind of barely know what they're doing. Who
Like,
love the Doom series.
Yeah, it was made by people that really fucking love Doom. But,
Okay.
yeah, like, the acting is good, the story was well written, the action was good, like, when Joan ends up having to, like, fight the imp close quarters hand to hand, it's badass. Like, I feel like at the end of the movie, like, the actual Doomslayer would, like, give her a little bit of an applause and be like,
"You're the first regular human."
yeah, it's like, you know what, with some spit and polish, kid, you could be a real biscuit boxer.
Except it's all just, ah! Ah! Ah!
Yeah, no, like, just... Because of the low budget and the hokiness of some of the special effects, I can't in good conscience give this movie a 7 out of 10, so I'm going to give it a 6.95 out of 10.
How at least are the gore effects? Are they the good kind of cheap effects, or are they like you didn't put effort into this kind of cheap effects?
Well, they were done practical, which is a good thing.
Well, hell yeah.
Because I think practical in general is less expensive than CGI.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's like people
less
getting
expensive, and if they're done right, it looks better.
I think it's less expensive, but you might need someone who knows more about their shit to get it right.
Yeah, but like no, they were done very well. People like get their throats and intestines torn out and shit. Like,
Nice.
If you're looking for gore, there's gore.
Yeah, I mean this is a Doom movie. If there wasn't gore, I would throw this movie in the trash.
Yeah, no, it's like I was like I'd watched the trailers for it, and I was just like this isn't gonna be good, and then it actually was.
I saw trailers. I watched a couple of reviews on YouTube, and I guess I watched the 2 wrong reviews, and they just trashed it.
Well, like I said, it was.
So I need to watch it.
It was very low budget, but I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot better than I was expecting it to be, which wouldn't have taken a lot of effort, but you can definitely tell the people who were attempting to make this movie really, really love Doom.
Okay, cool.
And they did it well with the materials they had.
Well, I'm glad I'm gonna probably check it out real soon then, because I was gonna watch it, and then I saw all the stuff about it, and I was like, oh, it's that bad. My God. But yeah, well, since we're on the topic of horrible, gross, bad things, is it main course time?
No, not yet. Still have to talk about video games.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's well, I mean it's half the main course is the video games. It's if you're getting a meal from McDonald's and you're one of those people who eat the fries first, this will be the fries segment.
Ooh, I'm glad we're the fries. It's pretty tasty.
Yeah, we haven't got to the burger yet. So what you guys been playing? Well, like you said, you've been playing Animal Crossing. Been playing anything else?
Nope. That's pretty much it.
I've been kind of stuck in limbo. Not limbo, because that makes it sound boring. But I made a second character on Outer Worlds without beating it on my first one, because I suddenly got the feeling that I fucked up and missed a bunch of shit, so I restarted real quick.
Yeah.
So, like I said last weekend, like still just I'm noticing and discovering entirely new side quests.
Yep.
Just by exploring. Like in Skyrim, when you go explore, you don't really find stuff unless you find a village. But in this game, you like crevice, body, quest.
There might be.
Oh shit!
Yeah, a quest or a unique weapon or
Yeah,
something.
in Skyrim, it's more like body. This is I wonder what happened here, and then you just walk off.
Or you loot the body and then walk off.
Yeah, there's nothing to it for the most part. Like 37th cave, nice. No, but if you go into the back room of the cafe at Edgewater and you find something, a little something, that made up an example, but
Yeah. All right.
So it's just everything about it is giving me not like pure flashbacks to New Vegas stuff, but like the writing hits enough notes for me to like it's like the son of New Vegas is talking to me like you're a lot like your dad.
Yeah.
You got some growing to do, but I can see it in you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just great. Like I'm not bored at any point. Even the tedious shit like isn't tedious yet because it's still like I kind of know what I'm doing. Let me hurry up and see. It's great. Doing it again.
Nice. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto Online because I finally figured out how to tweak my PlayStation 4's internet settings just right that I can get into a public lobby by myself. Thank God. Because I started that up again and I was playing it and I was trying to get my nightclub set up and like people would be like, oh hey, he's doing that quest. Let's get our fucking flying motorcycle and go blow his shit up with rockets for no reason.
Flying motorcycles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just thanks guys. So I spent like 2 days of fighting the nightmare that was trying to get my nightclub up and running. But finally, I found someone who instructed me in the ways of getting into a lobby by... What?
Wait, how does getting into a public match, like, how is them attacking you, shit?
Because he'll be doing basically a single-player mission, and there's a million people in the world who can fuck with him while he's doing it.
But how did that happen on a non-public server? You just said you just were able to get into a public server.
He was able to get in a public server by himself.
Yeah.
Oh, so like the only person playing on the server?
Yes,
or I thought you meant joining with a group, and I was like...
No, like, you can...
Or rather, to be able to do the online quest with nobody else there to fuck with them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Finally, someone showed me how to do that shit properly, so I got my nightclub up and running, which means I now have steady cash flow, so I can go and, like, get my bunker and, like, do the gun running shit and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun when people aren't fucking with you. Fuck those people.
It's also a lot of fun to be the people fucking with people.
Yeah, that's
I know.
the dark side, man. Like,
yeah.
You can either set up your nightclub or you can go blow up that dude's nightclub.
Yeah, it's just real annoying when you're just trying to get something done that doesn't really affect anybody else, but they show up to screw with you anyway.
I guess that's what being a criminal in
Grand
Theft
Auto
is like.
Yeah, I know. Like, I have been in some public lobbies where you can be doing the nightclub or the gun running, and the people are nice enough to be, like, leave you alone or rarely actually come and help you, which is nice.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's good. I've been playing more Witcher 3 because, like I said, I'm going to finish that game this year. Also a fun game. And I've been playing...
Wait, you said finish it this year, last year.
Well, no, that was my New Year's resolution, was to finish a playthrough of Witcher 3.
Oh, I thought you were on a fucking 3-day binge to finish it before 2020.
No.
No?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No, at the time I said that, I'd already sunk 90 hours into one playthrough of that game.
Which is why I thought you're he's about halfway through. You might be able to do this.
Not even halfway.
Okay.
That's a long game, so I've been playing more of that. That's good. And I've been playing a whole lot of Smash. A lot of Smash.
Trying to get good.
Yep. I've been training.
Does it give you any inspiration?
No.
I know.
I've been training because I only have the one controller for my Switch. Well, now I have two, but I've been training. I've been playing it with the split controls, upside down, against level 9 CPUs, and 50 times Earth gravity.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell me when you can play without any controllers, and we'll have a fight.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I wish. I don't know. Set the CPU to level 9 Terry, and I guess let you go at it, and you'll
no,
still.
because you just use the controller.
Yeah.
Just set to level 9. Nah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that. I spend at least 2 hours every day training, when I wake up and before I go to bed. The only ones who really give me any problems with this point is Duck Hunt and Mr. Game & Watch.
Fuck Duck Hunt.
Fuck Duck Hunt.
Fuck Duck Hunt.
Fuck
so goddamn much.
I hate Duck Hunt, and I hate Mr. Game & Watch. And then there's the characters like Zelda, or not Zelda, well, also Zelda and Link and Samus, who give me a little bit of trouble now, but everybody else I just kind of mop the floor with at this point.
Nice. You might be a worthy challenge.
Yeah, that's not like it might not happen tonight, might not happen next week, it might not even happen this year, but I'm coming for that crown, Jimmy. I'm coming for it.
We'll keep jerking yourself off because it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, I figured. But yeah.
No, there's seriously 50-50 you're gonna beat me tonight, even if I'm not trash.
I mean, well, you were trashed last time, but we went what 2-2, I think.
You beat me once.
Was it once? I thought it was twice.
No, you beat me once as Samus, which kind of counts as the overall one win.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you beat me as Lincoln Ganondorf, and I want to say you played as one other person.
I think I fucked around with either Bowser or Kirby. Or
it was
you off the edge as Yoshi. I can't remember.
It was Bowser. I beat you when you were playing as Bowser. So yeah, we went 2-2 last time.
No. I beat you with my Bowser. You beat my Samus, which is why it was a big deal and why you trained for a whole week.
Oh yeah, all right. But yeah, that's really about all I've been doing for Videogames.
Yeah, I'm in kind of in a limbo with the video games and stuff with the Christmas and the New Year's and just fucking around. Like, I guess I've been playing a lot of Oculus recently.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
A lot of Oculus.
Yeah, no, other than me getting a little bit seasick there at the end, I had a lot of fun with the Oculus.
Oh, dude, like.
Yeah, I tried it for the first time. It was pretty nifty.
Yeah.
It's definitely disorienting.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, I only played it for a little bit, but it was cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun.
I definitely wouldn't spend $1,000 on it.
No,
but I mean,
I don't think the headset and motion sensors he bought was the grand.
No,
version.
that
like,
was.
he doesn't have the full Oculus, does he?
Yeah, because I think the Oculus is like what?
It's like a setup. It's not just the headset and controllers.
I'm saying also the PC
Yeah.
and everything that can do the shit.
Oh, yeah, the PC way before you had the Oculus. Like that's just.
I
his
know.
gaming
I'm just
PC.
saying.
Yeah. But the point is, if you want to get an Oculus, you got to have a PC that can run it, and those get expensive.
It's worth it, and you have to be tolerant of bugs. If you don't like bugs, don't get a fucking Oculus.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with bugs.
But yeah, just when I was force lightning people and just screaming like, "I am the Senate!" Oh man, that was so much fun. So good. I love that.
Pretending to be Anakin Skywalker slaughtering the younglings, which
Yep.
is a dedicated game mode.
Yep.
Oh man.
The Emperor's bidding.
Yeah.
That bit where like, I can't, Anakin, help me! Pah!
Execute order only 9 years old.
So good. So now we get to the burger, the main course.
Oh, let me at least say the name of the game we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
It's just Blade and Sorcery. It's fun. It's
Yep.
just a little sandbox fighting game. It's really good for a stress relief and letting out your aggression. Yeah. No, I discovered Justin might have some inner problems, and
well, who of us doesn't?
him.
How many younglings did he gravity hammer to death?
More like he hung up a body by placing all 4 limbs in the air with a weird force grab and just like cut them apart, and then just spent a solid 2 minutes stabbing the torso. Yeah, that's where I was like, dude, Justin. What's up, man?
You all right, man?
Like, I mean, I killed people brutally. Lasted less than 15 seconds. This is like almost 5 minutes, dude. What are you doing?
Just putting the lightsaber in somebody and just turning it on and off over
Dude,
again.
Yeah, that's a thing that works in this game.
Yep.
Like, you just like get ready like you're gonna fight, turn your lightsaber off, and then just dead. Almost like in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, good shit. So now we get to the burger. The burger of the podcast.
What kind of burger is this if we were going to describe it as a burger? We're going to go with Carl's Jr. and Carl's Jr. only because it's not here anymore.
No, like this. For our topic, I'm going to say it's like a bloody.
It's like a McDonald's burger that got dropped on the floor.
Or like a bloody rare burger from like Buckets or something like that.
And I'm going to say the El Diablo from Carl's Jr. because it's spicy and evil.
Yeah,
Fuck,
that too.
You guys are going
I mean,
different direction. Are we not at least a Carl's Jr. burger, guys? Fucking Christ.
We're an expensive Carl's Jr.
They put
burger.
way too much mayonnaise on this. Dropped us on the floor. Picked it up and gave it to the customer anyways.
Yeah.
Right. They dusted off the dirt from the bun and then put it on the patty as pepper.
Well, they dusted off. They kind of like shittily smeared off a little bit of the mayonnaise and then just covered it with more mayonnaise.
Yeah, and then
that you couldn't see the dirt.
And then some Diablo sauce just to make sure you don't notice.
And then the boss is like, "Where'd you get that? Fuck it, I don't care."
Yeah. Yeah, so the burger tonight is our top 5 favorite video game villains.
Oh boy, y'all gonna be disappointed.
I mean, probably.
This list kind of brought my entire game world crashing down around me when I realized that some of my favorite video games didn't have solid single-person villains.
Yeah.
Like, I realized I was like, shit, that's not really the villain. Neither is that guy. Shit, coincidentally, maybe with context. Fuck!
My list it might be a little funky.
Yeah, mine's gonna be real funky.
Yeah. So who wants to start?
I mean, I'll go for it.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so my first one is probably my lamest one, but I love him. It's Giovanni from Pokemon.
Oh, that's not a bad choice. Not really.
I know he's just a basic bitch.
When you get into his
but
the deeper lore,
he does have some cool backstories.
Is
and,
he Ash's
he's
dad?
A mob villain.
No.
No, Mr. Mime is. Damn it.
But no, seriously, he's not.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think there's.
I'm pretty sure it's all but confirmed that Ash is dead.
No.
Little rumors or whatever, but even when. Like, they reform in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They basically make a team of the bad guys who it's called Team Rainbow, and it's all the leaders from all the bad teams over the years.
Oh shit! Even Magma and Aqua.
Yeah,
those are my favorite.
And Giovanni's the leader of them. Like,
nice.
Damn
still the baddest bitch among the bad bitches.
Dude, he looks like a Pokemon version of fucking Osborn from Spider-Man. Like I can't even remember his first fucking name.
Norman?
Yeah, Norman. He looks a lot like Norman Osborn with that hair slicked back. At least comic book Norman, anyway.
The heart, Osborn! First we attack his heart!
As soon as I said he looked like movie Osborn, I was like, no, he did. He looks like comic Osborn.
So
depending on which
have any of us
the classic one.
Have any of us seen Detective Pikachu yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the main villain of that, played by Philip from Shaun of the Dead? Is that Giovanni?
No.
No?
That's just random man here.
Random dude in a non-canon city and with non-canon characters with canon Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay, but he was still Philip from
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead, which is the important part.
Philip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Giovanni, he's neat. He's the big gang leader boy.
Yeah.
And he uses
like
ground type Pokemon, which I like. I never really use ground type Pokemon, but they're pain. If you don't have their weakness ready to go, they can be a real pain in the ass to fight.
What is ground weakness anyway?
Water.
Like water and
Just
grass.
Water and grass. Oh, I thought grass was only against rock. Never mind.
But yeah, so first one, Giovanni.
Giovanni.
Giovanni!
Alright. You want to go next or you want me to?
I'd rather you go. No, go next.
Alright, so my number 5 pick is the Brethren Moon from Dead Space, which you don't even see until the very, very end of Dead Space 3. But the Brethren Moon they're essentially giant necromorphs that have gone dormant and literally became the moon of a planet.
I thought it was literally just a planet fully encapsulated by the necromorphs. Because that's what I was hearing when I was watching and doing a little bit of research.
It could be both. I know the one at the end of Dead Space 3.
I know they're called Brethren Moons.
Yeah.
And maybe that one is a moon. But from what I've heard, Brethren Moons are just like when the planet is totally... They turn...
It might be both.
You know more about Dead Space than I do, even though I watched some videos.
Yeah, it very well could be both. But it was definitely the moon of Tau Volantis, the planet from Dead Space 3. And I think it was also the moon of Earth. Because they show up at Earth at the end of Dead Space 3, and sadly that's where the fucking series cliffhangered. But, yeah, I really like the lore behind the Brethren Moon and just the Necromorphs in general, because it's pretty much, like, it is confirmed, like, by the creators of Dead Space in canon that the reason that humanity hasn't found any other, like, intelligent alien life is because there's none left. The Necromorphs killed all of them.
Are they implying that humanity is the most resilient, or just the last in line?
They're the last ones.
No, I mean, like, were they able to resist it more, or are they just now getting to humanity?
They're just now getting to humanity, because the way they do it is, like, the species, like, whatever alien species it was, will, like, discover the markers, will start fucking with them, and then the markers start slowly influencing that particular species.
With perfect cultural, like, context, by the way. The markers are terrifying. They know how to get inside your species' brain.
Yeah.
Are you human? You hate it when kids and puppies get tortured? Well, guess what you're going to see.
Yeah. Like, so basically the markers will fuck with this species up until they, like, start building more markers and then send out a signal, and then the Brethren Moon will show up and consume the entire species in one go.
Okay, so basically the markers are just dinner reservations.
Yep.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's some Cthulhu-like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
the
like
Herald of Galactus.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Herald of Cthulhu,
The
more
markers
like.
are the heralds.
Yeah, no, the necromorphs in general, but specifically the Brethren Moon, are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Which is why I like them so much.
Yeah, it's neat.
Most of my lore from the Dead Space series is the movie.
Yeah.
The animated movie, which...
Downfall. Yeah.
Just...
Yeah. Like, man, I wish EA would get their shit together and make a finale to Dead Space, because I want one.
I think the only reason why I haven't started playing Dead Space is I know how hard the game is, and I saw the movie, and I was like, I don't know if I can make it through this. Like, oh, fucking God, that's awful.
Yeah,
Like, in a good way, but I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, if you know what you're... Like, Dead Space 1 is probably the hardest of the series.
Because
It's
Isaac has
the
no
most
idea what he's
survival
doing.
horror.
Yeah. But, like, when you gain access to, like, the telekinesis, where it becomes a part of the gameplay where you can, like, rip necromorph limbs off and then pin them to the wall with it.
Oh, shit, that's hardcore awesome.
Yeah, like, that makes the game a lot easier, because you can pin them to the wall, and even if it doesn't kill them, they're stuck to the wall, so then you can, like, take your time about it and be careful and shit.
Yeah, from what I watched from a lore perspective, you just can't kill the necromorphs. All you can do is just disable them where they can't move to kill you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is god-awful. Like, what about total incineration, then? Like, I want to know.
Like, you can...
Lots of lore doesn't answer that question. Like, what happens if you just turn to ash? Can it still come back?
I mean, I don't think that's ever really been covered, but I know, like...
It never is.
Yeah, you can kill them to the point where they... Like, that particular necromorph, like, isn't coming back, even though it's technically still alive. But there's a mini-boss that you straight can't kill. I think it's in Dead Space 1. It'll just keep regenerating no matter what you do to it. So literally the way you end up dealing with it is trapping it in an airlock and just kicking it off the ship.
Oh, I feel bad for that other planet in about 10.5 million-ish
Yeah.
years.
The humans are the last ones. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Fuck. Well, who gives a shit then?
Yeah, right? But yeah, that's my number 5 pick, the Brethren Moon.
Alright, Jim. Alright.
Sorry, I was stuck contemplating Dead Space lore and how scary that shit is.
Yeah.
Mine is Makarov from the first 3 Modern Warfares.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the Brethren Moons, except for you see him the entire series,
Yeah.
and he pisses you off at every fucking moment for 3 fucking games spanning the course of like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, no, he's...
Let's be real here. It was a year and a half.
No, this is before they started doing Call of Duty every year.
Yeah.
This is right before that started going on.
Yeah,
So this was like a wait between each game, like
Yeah.
a couple years maybe.
Yeah, was his final appearance Modern Warfare 2 or 3?
3. It's 1, 2, 3.
Okay, gotcha.
Its own little
Buckle my
encapsulated thing.
sheet.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
like,
Boone?
Butter.
and not,
Boone is a Brethren Moon. I know it.
dude, I'm pretty sure Boone is like the one above all.
Brethren Boone. Brethren Boone. Anyways, go on.
Yeah.
But anyway, the entire series, he pretty much, I'm cutting out a bunch of context, but he single-handedly orchestrates World War III through fucking flawless planning and brutality.
Yeah.
Like, God, like, this guy is way too smart to be left alive, and he's way too clever to be caught.
Yep.
Except for, spoiler alert for a game that's been over for so fucking long, I can't believe I have to say a spoiler alert. Sorry, one dude in, like, Kansas. You finally get to kill his ass in the 3rd Modern Warfare after the first 2 games is protagonist of that one particular country, because there's like American and British,
Yep.
and then the British guy dies, and you're
Yeah.
like, fuck. Oh, you're telling me the Mentor survives and is the one that killed the big bad villain for 3 games? And it's, oh, dude, there's a big fight at the end of going up a skyscraper where you get the Juggernaut armor on, and like
Yeah.
it's like kind of like a last stand thing, except it's more of a last assault type thing. You kill all the guys, you face them on the roof, and you kill them in possibly the most satisfying way possible. Like, you get a bit of a scuffle on this glass roof of the skyscraper. There's some there are explosions have been going on, so there's like some cable hanging around, and you wrap him with the cable around his neck, and you fucking kick him through the glass, and he's just hanging, and it's when I was like 15 or 16 and I finally fucking finished that series of games, like, I was so hyped that I didn't even notice when Black Ops came out. And then I got Black Ops and enthralled again.
Yeah.
By the way, Black Ops 2 is probably the last Call of Duty game you can play timeline-wise, where it's actually good story-wise. Everything after that's trash.
Hey, Black Ops 3 was good.
Black Ops 3 is a fucking spin-off cash grab like Black Ops 1 and 2. Get over it.
But it was still a well-written story as far as the single player went.
Yeah.
Black Ops 3 is actually my favorite, mainly just because you get to be a cyborg super soldier, but...
Advanced Warfare 2. And with Kevin Spacey in that one. Ooh, that aged poorly.
Yeah.
Advanced.
That's Advanced Warfare 1, by the way.
Which one was that one? Was that Call of Duty Halo or Call of Duty Halo 2?
I'm pretty sure it was Medal of Duty.
Yeah, no, I think Advanced Warfare...
Well, no, because, I mean, they started just putting them in Halo suits, right?
Kind of. I think
no, it's literally like bare bones exoskeletons, where
Yeah,
it's just like the bars of metal on the back. It's not a suit. It's like
It's a powered exoskeleton. You can barely call it armor, man. It's got like a breastplate.
Yeah, it's not armor at all. It's like an enhancer more than anything.
Yeah, and then, like I said, Black Ops 3, you straight up just become a fucking cyborg with, like, prosthetic limbs and shit that allow you to do all kinds of crazy bullshit.
Yeah, well, if I want to do that, I'll just play Blood Dragon, whatever.
I mean,
Call of Duty Crisis.
Yeah, that's actually a good fucking parallel. Yeah, Call of Duty Crisis.
I'm down with that.
Yeah,
no, Makarov, and this is mostly my nostalgia pick because, like, the relief of finally killing him in my formative years playing the Modern Warfare series. Like, just, he's not even, I just loved watching him die so much.
Yep. Yeah.
And he kills some of your favorite characters playable.
Which one was the one where he set off the nuke? Was that the end of 2?
When he set off the nuke?
I
No,
think
that was the end of Modern Warfare 1 when you're in the desert
okay.
as the Marines.
Okay.
And then they all die because there's the nuke that gets set off.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But that actually doesn't spark World War 3.
Weirdly enough.
It's the, it's a nuke going off in the Middle East. And
Yeah.
someone probably dropped something. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But it was Call of Duty 2 where he like basically forced you to go through the airport and mow down civilians,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Where it was like, remember, no Russian.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is funny because I like the fact that the manufacturers realize how bad that was.
Yeah.
They're like, you can skip this without any consequence to your achievements or like your story progression. Like, you don't have to play this, but
Yeah.
if you do.
Yeah, good shit. Good shit.
Yeah.
Noodle, number 4.
Number 4, a little bit similar to Brother and Moon in some ways. The Flood.
The Flood?
From Halo.
Yeah.
The Flood.
The Grave Mine.
Yeah, the
key
Floods. The Floods are cool.
Yeah.
They're scary zombo boys, and they're pretty much unstoppable for the most part. They killed the fucking Forerunners, who are supposedly badasses.
Yep.
They're really just fucking annoying when you end up fighting them.
Yeah.
I actually watched a couple lore videos about the Flood, and they're like,
I watched the lore video, actually.
Oh, fuck off.
I'll tell you something cool. Fuck off. Yeah. Eat my
I'm
dick.
joking. Jesus. Do we have to be serious? Yes, in our very serious part. The Flood. As you know, the Flood first showed their appearance in Halo 3. And as you know, from my Halo experience, I know that in Halo 3, they are indeed a scare. You did not expect the Flood.
We all did an oops.
This is MatPat from Game Scares.
Man, you really don't like game theory.
I
Yeah,
fucking hate
Jesus.
him.
Why do you hate game theory so much? You still haven't explained it.
I fucking hate him. He's stupid. Well, if we look at this, but then you theory. Oh, man. Fuck him. Fucking kill yourself, MatPat. I don't give a fuck.
Shit.
Good God. We're so...
It's just the fucking, like...
Who's your pick
It's
again?
fucking shit that I would have thought was cool when I was like 10. I would have been like, oh, this is neat. There was also never anything like it when I was 10, really. So it would have been cool when I was 10. But now there's a million things. It's just like, shut the fuck up, you idiot. Anyways, the Flood.
Who's the one making millions of dollars on YouTube at this point?
Yeah, Goomba Bill.
Yeah, he's not making millions off YouTube, sorry.
No, he's making a lot.
Maybe tens of thousands?
That's still a lot.
The Flood are cool. They're scaro. You have to go and fight the Grave Mine.
This is not my pack. I am so sorry.
Yeah, that's alright.
Hope no one leaves you behind.
How about you talk about the Flood real for a minute, in case the audience doesn't know who it is.
Everybody knows what the Flood is. Flood from Halo. The whole thing is like activating Halo releases the Flood. And,
what? No, it doesn't.
Then.
Okay, I get it now for a second.
I know the Halo rings were meant to kill the Flood.
In a very weird way.
By killing like fucking everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, what it actually does. Seriously, this is dumb as fuck, but I did watch this drunk as shit. It doesn't kill everything in the galaxy. It destroys the nervous system. So the Flood can't use the nervous system. Like, you have to have an intact nervous system for the Flood to be able to affect your body. So if, like, you were cut into pieces, nothing would happen. But the Halo rings, like, basically fries your nervous system while you're still alive, kind of. And even if you're a Flood form, you just lay there dormant forever.
Yeah.
It just
That's
puts everyone to
way
sleep,
more terrifying than just
I know, right?
fucking dying. I'd way rather just die.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could just they're like an infectious species that just take over. I mean, they're zombie-esque in a lot of ways. There's little tap dancey boys that jump on you and get in you, and then they take over you, and you become this morphed out, almost fungal version
just
of yourself. Yeah, just look up hashtag the Flood, and you'll probably find a good example of what one looks like.
Yeah.
Do you like anything in particular about the Grave Mind, or like how, like, do you know anything cool that you interact with Master Chief? You're not gonna like that.
He's spoopy.
All
right. My number 4 next.
I don't remember enough about them. I just think they're cool.
They are cool.
I don't remember enough about the lore and everything. They're just neat.
Yeah. So, my number 4?
Yeah.
Alright, my number 4 is Gabriel Belmont / Dracula from Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
He's the one who, gets turned to Dracula.
Yeah, he's the player character who eventually becomes Dracula. And, like, full disclosure for, like, the first game almost in its entirety minus the DLC at the end, he's actually the hero. He's out to, like, stop the Lords of Shadow and, restore, like, the whole thing is, people who die, their souls remain on Earth because Satan did some funky shit, which basically just doesn't allow their souls to leave Earth.
That sounds way god-awful.
Yeah. So his whole quest was to fix that and fight...
Limbo-esque.
Yeah, and he ends up fighting Lucius Malfoy, a.k.a. Satan.
Of what?
In Lords of Shadow, Satan is played by Jason Isaacs, a.k.a. Lucius Malfoy.
Okay.
Which
wow.
is real weird.
How much stuff is Jason Isaacs in that I don't... Oh, dude. Do you want a pity cigarette from me?
Nah, I'll just do this. But weirdly enough, Jason Isaacs is playing Superman in a movie. It's the spin-off, Red Sun. It's the story of what happens if Superman had landed in Soviet Russia instead of the United States.
Oh, shit, they're making that?
Yeah.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down with that. Yeah, like, I'm on board Noodle here. I think Superman's pretty uninteresting, but there are certain, like, little side stories where it's like, what if he was a communist Russian, where I'm like, yes, I want to know.
But, yeah, so, anyway, at the end of the game...
What if he was a tiny Chinaman?
So...
Superman?
Yeah.
Superming.
Yeah, so anyway, Gabriel Belmont ends up becoming Dracula, and you find out that through some brainwashery, like, a whole thing about him was that his wife was supposedly killed by the Lords of Shadow when he was, like, off on a crusade or something, but, well, it turns out they brainwashed Gabriel, and he's the one who killed his wife, so that affects him badly, and basically starts having an existential crisis. And when he starts getting Dracula powers in the DLC of the first game, he goes and, like, hunts down, like, literally the most powerful demon in hell next to Satan. Not for any real reason or anything. He's just mad and he wants to kill shit.
Oh, I'm down with that. And I'm sure Doomslayer's down with that too.
Yeah, so he ends up killing the Demon Lord, absorbs the Demon Lord's power, and that's when he hits his full transformation into Dracula. And then he goes full-on villain and just does awful, awful things to humanity. Like, just genocide all over the place. Like legit Vlad the Impaler stuff, just because he's angry. And also morphed into a vampire.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. Shit.
And, like, the real fucked up thing is, like, because of, like, cosmic meddling, he's still technically God's chosen. God gave him the job of defeating Satan. So at the beginning of the second game, when he's on his genocide rampage, like, his former homies, the Brotherhood of Light, show up, and one tries to like do like the holy symbol against him, and he just walks up, like grabs the cross out of the guy's hand and like crushes it up and says, "You think your God's gonna help you against me? I'm his chosen!" And then just rips the guy in half.
Oof, that's depressing. When you find out the big bad guy is God's chosen. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
God wants him to... Okay.
Wow.
All right, yeah, I don't want to worship him anymore. Let's leave.
Yeah, like
I guess I'm going to hell anyway. Might as well become an atheist right before I die. No.
Yeah, but like eventually
Not
he does.
an atheist, because you know he's there. You're just like, nah, fuck you, God.
Yeah.
You're a real cock.
Like, granted, at the end of the second game, he does put Satan down permanently and starts journeying back toward heroism, but man.
Can you really journey back towards heroism after genocide?
Yes.
I don't think you can.
Well, the whole plot point is that he...
You
like,
can and you can't. Well, I mean, look at God. He did a genocide with flood.
See, the thing with him, though, is that if you disagree with him, you get wiped from existence. If I disagree with Gabriel, who turns into Dracula, nothing happens.
Yeah. But, like, there's the whole thing about, like, his son who ends up becoming Alucard in the games, and they, like, team up to defeat Satan.
Wait, so Alucard's not even the original Dracula's son? Or is Gabriel the original Dracula?
Well, in this continuity, Gabriel is Dracula. He had a son that he didn't know about. Like, when after he did the whole brainwashing thing, killed his wife, and then ends up becoming Dracula, the Brotherhood of Light's like, we should probably just, like, hide his son from him. That is not father material over here.
Right.
And then in the DS game, the son, Trevor, goes to try and stop his dad, and then his Dracula kills him. And when he drank his blood and saw his memory, he's like, oh, fuck, I just killed my son, which drove him even more insane. So he bit his son and, like, slow turned him into a vampire and just kind of hid him away. And
Wait, they told his son that Dracula was his dad?
I don't think they told him. I don't think they told Trevor. They were just like, hey, go stop Dracula. And he's like, yeah, all right, cool.
Well, how the hell is reading Trevor's memories and telling that he's his son if he doesn't know that he's his dad?
Because Trevor still remembered his mom, and Gabriel's like, oh.
I fucked that.
Yeah, I hit
okay, yeah,
oh,
that makes sense now. My bad.
Yeah, so anyway, they end up teaming up at the end to stop Satan, and Dracula's like, well, fuck, what do I do now? And Trevor's like, hang out with me, be a dad, let's, like, do some good stuff with our powers. And Dracula's just like, alright, I don't have anything better to do.
Shit, he seems like a very wishy-washy villain. Like, I'm only a villain because, fuck, nothing else seems like an interesting idea. Oh, like, my son wants to be good, I'll be good, I guess.
Yeah, no, like, he was full-blown insane in the DS game, Mirror of Fate. Like, he was off his fucking rocker.
Oh, Jesus.
And then he's, like, slowly got more sane as time went on and realized, like, yeah, no, I'm a fuckbag. I should probably, like, I'm immortal. I can spend all of eternity atoning for all the bad shit that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my number 4 pick.
My number 4 pick is only a villain, depending on how you play the game, but he is a villain on most people's way to play the game. No matter, mostly, unless you side with his faction, he's the bad guy. And that's Caesar from New Vegas. Fallout. Or All Hail the Mighty Kaisar, as the Latins would pronounce it. Or Latins. How you would pronounce it in Latin. His story is really cool because, okay, post-apocalyptic shit, and everything's horrible, and I forgot his actual name because it's only mentioned like twice in the entire game by him once and then a DLC character later.
Slim Peter.
It might actually be Peter. It's
Peter
Philip?
Serafinowicz.
Oh, his first name is Philip.
Oh.
So he's Phil. But he goes by Kaisar, and he's kind of the closest thing I can think of to Alexander the Great in a post-apocalypse,
Post-apocalypse.
Everything ended, shit's going on still.
Yeah.
And he starts out by, as a young man, he joins the Followers of the Apocalypse, which is basically a nuclear hippie club, and let's help everybody, everything's fine. Joins up with them, quickly outgrows their weak-ass philosophy, because even in the game, they're the Salvation Army. That's about it. And he eventually leaves after being there for a short stint, and some shenanigans happen, and he, I say shenanigans when I mean more like war and political reformation and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And he starts taking over tribes and like building them up into this one I think I'm trying to use bigger words that I can actually say.
Hegemony?
Yeah, but hegemonious or like something like that, where it's like one culture state, one way of doing things, no matter where you live, this is how it is.
Yeah.
And he starts taking over tribe after tribe after tribe through like just being super smart, conquering tribes, helping them out with technology after conquering them, and like all this other stuff. And he spends decades just flawlessly like this almost all takes place from like the near west to like mid-America, which is almost uncovered in the Fallout universe.
Yeah.
What's his damn name from Game of Thrones that takes over, that has all the wildlings join him?
Mance Rayder.
Yeah.
Mance Rayder?
So he's very Mance Rayder-ish almost.
That's more like he's calling tribes into a union, and Caesar's more like conquering them and then integrating them against their will.
Okay.
So it's less diplomatic and more like we can be diplomatic. We can be, but this is there's no in this. Yeah. It's very similar to that now that I think about it. Except this is a little bit more of like Mance Rayder is. He's kind of everyone believes in him.
Yeah, no,
he's
Mance
not the
Rayder,
Iron Hand fucking ruler.
Everyone's trust. And
yeah, he was democratically elected.
Also has a great name, Mance Rayder.
Yeah,
Mance Rayder. It's straight out of like an old '80s sci-fi novel, even though it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's a really cool name.
Yeah. Anyway, Caesar like spent his entire life building up this union of tribes under what is a bastardization, which he. This guy is extremely smart for a post-apocalyptic guy. Like, even the scientists don't know much about certain things, especially human history. And he fully realizes that his whole, like, Roman, like, legion facade is literally a facade. And it's just one of the best ways to bring people together with this, like, technique and, like, this kind of, like mindset and cultural thing where, like we're all legions. We own slaves. They do all the work. We do it this way. And it's a really good way of keeping the post-apocalyptic people together.
Yeah.
They respond a little bit more coordinatedly to force and fear and, the banner and shit like that. And so he conquers a total of 87 tribes, which is literally Alexander the Great status. He basically carved a swath out of the entire United States, and it's all his. And in the beginning of New Vegas, you kind of get like the feeling that he might just be like a neighboring faction that's kind of like getting all up on your shit. No, this is a different country coming towards your area.
Yep.
Like it's not just a little faction. Like this is the other ruling fucking government in the country, basically at this point.
Yeah. I originally joined up with them first, mainly because I wanted to make shotgun shells out of their Roman denariuses. Mm-hmm. But then I realized these guys
gun.
Then I realized these guys are actually pretty fucking cool.
They're pieces of shit, just like actual Romans, because they base their life off of actual like ancient Roman life. But you got the slaves, you got this rigid military hierarchy. They only use simple firearms and mostly melee weapons and other kind of stuff. They don't use drugs, and this entire setup has kept everything together.
Yep. For
the most part, up until New Vegas, depending on how you play, he is either the villain or the savior of mankind.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like snippet, like because they're basically monsters. And when you talk to certain people, they talk about how like, yeah, they're horrible when they're taking over an area, but like if you live in their area, you're not going to get attacked by raiders ever. You're not going to be attacked by wild, dangerous beasts ever, because they're all fucking dead.
Yep.
So being a merchant in Caesar Legion is great.
Yeah.
If you're a woman in Caesar Legion, you're gonna get raped.
Yeah, like in a weird way, they're really the best of like a bunch of just bad options.
I don't know. I'd rather be taxed heavily than the other downsides of Caesar's Legion.
Yeah.
But no, he's just probably the second most intelligent single person in the entire New Vegas game, other than Mr. House.
Yeah.
And like it's so because when you talk to him, it's almost like you're talking to like a historian of today, not 300 years that way. Like that's how familiar he is with human history and how he's like using it to shape how to like keep his shit together. It's so interesting, and I love his character, but goddamn do I hate everything about his faction. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
Like, just use guns! Dude, fuck. Missile launch. Ha! This is why you're losing against the NCR, because they use all this crazy shit, and you're like, well, my bolt-action rifle should be... And then just minigun. Yeah, so that's my my number 4 spot for favorite villain. Caesar is extremely interesting, especially if you have a lot of time to waste on figuring out his backstory.
Yep. All right, Noodle, number 3, go.
All right. So my number 3 is a greedy, covetous moneylender who goes by the name of Tom Nook from Animal Crossing.
I'm completely alien in this world, so I will let you two primarily discuss this.
Tom Nook is a man who wants to keep you in debt.
Yep.
To such an extent, you think Animal Crossing is this cute little game, and it is in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But
in most
there's
ways.
one central figure who is just poisoning the well.
Yeah.
And he gives you your house, for a small loan.
Yeah.
He, which, you pay off eventually. And once you pay it off, though, you don't even really have the option. And you really can't progress anywhere in the game because you have to talk to him in order to progress in the game because he's the shopkeeper.
Yeah.
So you have to take his loan to make your house bigger.
Yep.
And then you have to take his loan to get a basement. And then you have to, all the while having to pay off bigger and bigger debts forever for your entire life.
Yep.
Many people who play Animal Crossing never pay off their full debts, and they
Wait, how high
probably
is the debt?
the village just dies eventually with them.
Wait, no, are you being serious? Is it like literally almost impossible to pay off your actual debt?
I mean, if you play the game for a long time, or if you're constantly
In a
skipping
regular,
forward,
like normal playthrough.
in the ones that had, well, I guess there's ways to go to other people's villages where there's different fruits that sell for more.
Okay.
But it's never that much more. So it's basically every day you go in, do your little tasks. I mean, you could spend a shitload of time fishing and catching bugs to try and get more and more money.
God.
But if you're playing it that religiously like that, instead of just playing it for fun, you're going to get sick of it a whole lot faster.
Yeah.
It's like competitive Sims. Shoot yourself.
You're basically just under Nook's thumb the entire time you play the games. And you'll never get out. If you try to turn the game off without saving, he sends a henchman named Mr. Rossetti after you.
He's in my honor.
What?
Rossetti's
What
in my
are you talking about?
Rossetti's in my honorable mentions, but I feel like I could
What
just talk about
is
it
happening
now.
right
If you
now?
turn the game off without saving, it pretty much saves anyways. You
Yeah.
don't really lose anything.
Is Animal
But-
Crossing this hardcore?
Mr. Rossetti shows up, who is a mole, and
I said no resetting.
Yep. He gets very upset
God,
and sits there and screams at you
Until you
makes
apologize.
Well, he'll first scream at you for probably a solid 5 minutes of you clicking the A button. So this is a different kind of torture. He doesn't break your arms or your thumbs or whatever. He just
forces you to listen.
fucking, you sit there and listen. And then he makes you write out an apology, which I remember the first time this happened to me. I didn't know what the fuck to write. I wrote sorry, I'm sorry. I never figured it out, so I just turned it off and didn't play anymore. He kicked me out.
What are you supposed to type in?
I don't know what the actual phrase I couldn't figure it
You
out.
never finished.
No.
Oh shit! So he is the main villain of this game. God damn, he made you stop playing.
Yeah.
So
He's my favorite assist trophy in Smash.
Yep.
He just shows up and his text bubbles just obscure the fucking screen while he's yelling at you like, "You kids don't know how to save properly. No resetting."
So number 3, Tom Nook.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a bit of a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no,
play
you
Animal
didn't-
Crossing, I guess. Your fucking mafia sending goons after you if you turn the game off without fucking saving.
Yep, because I think that was a thing in like the earlier ones. Like if you fucked up or something like that, you could just like reset the game and retry or something like that.
I think there was ways. It was kind of like cheating, so they just punished you that way.
Yeah, well, I was playing Paper Mario and changing the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, you're gonna sit on your cigarettes.
Oh, no, I know they were there.
Yeah.
They've been sitting behind me for a little while, thank you.
So my number 3 pick is kind of a cheat because it's actually 2 people: the siblings Albert and Alex Wesker from the Resident Evil series.
Wait, he has a twin?
Yes.
Fuck.
I mean,
okay.
not technically, like.
I knew they'd be on. your
What they
list, so I
consider a
didn't.
twin.
Like,
I'm not going to ask
yeah.
for super...
Well,
I mean, I
the
am.
lore is that the Wesker children were like basically screened genetically, looking for certain markers, and then basically taken by Umbrella and given to Professor Wesker, who would then like basically raise them and like experiment on them and shit.
Oh, so their name's not even really Wesker.
Yeah, they were just children raised by the original Wesker. So they're not blood related or anything, but yeah.
I'm gonna guess the original Wesker's not in any of the games.
No,
he's a lore character basically.
Yeah, like by 2011, which is where Resident Evil Revelations 2 take place. Alex Wesker, I think, is like 51 years old or something like that. So he was way back, like early Resident Evil lore. But I'll start with Albert first. So Albert Wesker is kind of the main overall villain of the game series. Like, he's in a lot of the games. He wasn't that interesting in Resident Evil like 1 or Code Veronica, really. Like, he was just like the cold, arrogant, like agent kind of character.
He was still cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
And he there was the whole twist with him being the bad guy at the end of 1.
Yeah. But then you get to Resident Evil 5, where where so much of Wesker, what's good about Wesker, is down to his voice actor, DC Douglas, just going full ham on it in just the best possible way.
The actual hatred that man holds for the character Chris.
Yeah, and just so much good, ridiculous dialogue out of him. Like, in 5 minutes, we will reach optimal altitude for missile deployment. George Bush will be released into the atmosphere, ensuring complete global saturation.
Wait, George? What?
No, that was from a video that the voice actor DC Douglas did. I think I showed it to you. It was like a bunch of different takes of that line and him just naming it up. Yeah. Complete global masturbation. But he just became like what Albert Wesker, real badass, even like without DC Douglas voicing him, like all the crazy like Matrixy bullshit that he can do.
Oh yeah.
But then also Chris.
That's what really cements him as the best. And
I don't need any help. I have Ouroboros.
He should have said this and just held up.
Yeah. You will give me an egg.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I have to say negatively about Albert is I wasn't ever really scared of him. Like,
no. You don't have to be scared by a villain. You just have to be fucking threatened by a villain. Like, I might die here.
Like other than like the
threatening.
Yeah, like the knee-jerk reaction when you're like in the boss fight and he charges and then is suddenly like right up in your fucking face like that, like, oh Jesus shit, kind of thing. Like I wasn't dreading fighting Wesker or interacting with him at any point. But his sister, Alex Wesker, the main villain of Resident Evil Revelations 2, man, when she mutated, I was fucking terrified of Alex. She might be the most horrifying monster I've seen in a Resident Evil game. She's fucking scary.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, like where's my iPad? I have a picture of her mutated form. I will show you.
Because I was say, out of all of Resident Evil, I mean, I haven't played much. I've seen a good bit. I haven't seen all of it, but is it? Oh, fucking Christ!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, top 3 at least.
Yeah, no, her whole thing was she was fucking around modifying viruses, and she made one called the I think it was the T Phobos virus, which is activated by fear. So you can get injected with it, and like nothing will happen until you like reach full panic mode, and like something in your brain chemistry is what sets off the virus.
Yeah, I'm sure like an induction of like a flow of like your like stress hormone is what sets it off or something like that.
So like her master plan was something that I haven't seen in any Resident Evil like before or after Revelations 2. She was like Albert, she was chasing immortality, but the way she figured it was, why should I fuck around with my body when I can just steal another one and just achieve immortality that way?
Just by body hopping for all eternity?
Yeah, so her thing was she did some shit with this little girl and like basically planted
You're gonna have to really fucking...
Yeah. Like she
what do you mean I did some shit to a little girl?
Yeah, like she was experimenting on this little girl that she had kidnapped.
Slightly better than what I thought.
Yeah. Now, funny, like, real quick segue, funny story about the person who did the motion capture and was the face model for Alex Wesker. She's like a hardcore animal rights activist. So she's like, yeah, no, I'll lend my likeness and do this performance as long as my character doesn't kill any animals. And they're like, well, all right, she won't kill any animals in this game, but she's going to do some other fucked up shit to, like, people. And then the actress is just like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
sounds about right.
So
animal activists like animals more than people. Great.
Yeah. So basically, she experimented on this girl, and when her first body died, her consciousness was like supposed to hop into the body of the little girl. So like halfway through the game, when you meet her in human form, she just straight up blows her own brains out.
Oh.
But the problem was, because of the experiments and how they were working, she'd injected herself with the T. Phobos virus. But in, like, that split second before she pulled the trigger, she experienced mortal fear for her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, which caused her to mutate into that. And then she proceeds to do the second half of the story, chasing around Barry Burton and the little girl who was supposed to be her new host body. But, man, when I saw her full mutated form, I was like, oh, I don't want to be anywhere near that. Like, no, I don't want to fight that thing. Can I just run? I know I'm playing as Barry fucking Burton, but nope.
I want to be so far away from that the newspapers in my areas don't mention it, and that's gonna be a really big area.
Yeah, but like I haven't experienced a fear of a monster in a Resident Evil game quite like what I experienced when I saw Alex Wesker's mutated form for the first time. It was terrifying.
Wait, Alex Wesker?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Female twin?
Yeah, Alex is
okay.
Alex is the female sister, Albert's.
Oh, I thought we were talking about two dudes. Never mind.
No.
I got confused for a moment. Never mind. Keep going.
But yeah, no, she's Wesker's sister. And she wasn't near as hammy as Albert was, except for when she was like fucking with Claire through the first half of the game. Like, she would just randomly come over the loudspeakers and like start quoting Franz Kafka or some shit like that.
Just fucking heckling her.
Yeah, and just like overblown. And she was like, I'm like, is that the way you really talk, Alex? And she's like, no, I'm just doing this to get under her skin. But yeah, no, both Albert.
What's being a villain if you can't have fun while you're doing it?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, man, like the whole of Revelations 2 takes place on an island, and she did some horrific shit to the people on that island. Like they're like, all the monsters in that game are fucking scary, but Alex's mutated form takes the goddamn cake for me.
Yeah, it does. Oof.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Really, both really great villains.
Jimbleby Crimbus.
Yep.
Well, my number 3 is Mana Marco from Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, who is basically the entire mastermind behind that entire game.
Yep.
And he is not a high elf, not a dark elf. He's a fucking wood elf.
Oh, right.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, you never really hear of, like, wood elf, like, villains.
Yeah, who the fuck plays as wood elves? Nobody.
Me.
Oh,
Me.
well.
I like wood elves.
Dude, the archery,
cool.
the stealth, they're so cool. And their lore is really cool.
They
Like,
kind of look like Barky.
what?
They kind of look Barky.
No, they don't.
With their skin, they look a little Barky. They look
Elder
barky.
Scrolls.
Yeah,
Elder.
I know.
They have regular people skin.
Yeah, I know, but it looks a little Barky.
I'm about to eat your hat and then throw up your hat into your mouth.
Nuh-uh.
Well, fuck! No, but, yeah, no, he basically topples an empire that's been standing for over 1,000 years, does some crazy shit, creates a paradise dimension, which is kind of unheard of. As a mortal, you don't do that ever.
Yeah.
Like, period. No one has ever done that. Ever. And, his whole thing is he murders all of the Emperor's children, and in the Elder Scrolls, if you don't know, then why the fuck are you watching this podcast? 'Cause
yeah.
This is like basic training. And basically he kills all the Emperor's children except for the one bastard, and then kills the Emperor with his Mystic Dawn cult, which is probably one of my second favorite cult in any video game.
Close shut the jaws
of Oblivion! And, He's not that far off because he could play 3, 4, or 5, and they kind of sound similar-ish on purpose.
And also the bastard child was Sean Bean. If you
I
didn't
know, right? Like,
Stop it, Jimmy.
no, you
Stop
deserve it. Let me
Jimmy.
twist your nipple.
Jimmy. Anyways,
Anyway,
yeah, Mystic Dongle, pretty cool.
I'm gonna set you on fire. I swear to God.
Go on.
Yeah.
You know what's okay with all this? I know that he can edit this part out. So shut the
Yeah, he's
flip
not,
up.
He's not going to.
Yeah, I know.
Go on.
I could, but I won't.
Yeah. Anyway,
Slap.
Manamarco
Yeah.
eliminates all the Emperor's children, and if he doesn't have any blood children, the entire line falls and reality kind of falls apart and crumbles, because if you don't have the dragon blood wielding the king's amulet,
Yep.
Oh, it's bad.
it's like
It's bad.
You hear like how like Halloween is a night where the physical realm and the spiritual realm get the closest.
ghouls.
Yep.
The closest. Well, this is like, the realm, the barrier is just gone now since all these children are dead.
Yep.
And demons are just going to take over the world. They just are going to now. And,
Keep talking. I'm not doing anything.
very distracting. Doing this.
Sorry,
Is this?
you make me sit here for so long. I get
Make you sit there. You could have... Manamarco. Good
Yeah.
villain. The only Wood Elf villain I know of in Elder Scrolls lore. Kills all the Emperor's heirs, fucks everything up, creates a weird pocket dimension, which is unheard of, and it is paradise for just him.
Yeah.
The place is beautiful, filled with demons. All of his followers are unknowingly, literally going to hell.
Yep.
He doesn't care about a single one of them at all.
Pretty
Like-
much. Yep.
Like, it is, like, usually, like, cults or, like, even, like, fantasy games or video games in general, like, cults have, like, an inner circle where, like, we all know what's going on. No, just this
Just
dude.
him.
Just him knows what's going on.
Yep.
And it's, like, it's such a, like, a low-burning twist when you go to visit the Paradise Realm and you start realizing that all the people being tortured there are just his acolytes. And you're just like, oh, this guy's way worse than I thought.
Yep. And
Fuck.
then he does end up bringing Mehrunes Dagon into like the mortal world for
Yep.
a bit. Yeah.
Yep. His plan works up until the last fucking second.
Yep.
Basically.
And then Sean Beans.
Yeah, Sean Bean, his character calls down the might of Akatosh, which doesn't ever happen,
Yeah.
except for when this happened. Basically,
Except for when it did.
well, it only happened this one time.
He do be calling down the power of Akatosh, though.
He do. That's what he do.
He do.
He
And
do.
He did. And it turns out a shitty looking dragon, which
Yeah.
admittedly it looked kind of cool at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, at the time it looked awesome,
For
but
the
now
time it looked dope.
replaying it's like, that's a really shitty Chinese style dragon.
Especially that game. Yeah, looked great for the time. Remember the opening scene?
No, the faces for the people
Remember-
didn't look good to me even as a
Not
child.
great.
Like,
Yeah.
But
the,
remember the opening scene where it was so cool and you're going around like the
you
whatever,
get out of the
main,
sewers and you open
no,
the door.
No, like the main town, like the opening
Yeah,
scene.
the cinematic.
The little cinematic at
You're
the
thinking
beginning.
Skyrim.
No, I'm not.
No, like where
I
the camera
promise.
like goes and then like
It
goes into
around
the dungeon.
the Imperial City.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the intro cinematic to the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
I
said.
thought you were talking about when you like start playing.
No.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Good. And then it looks awesome. And then in one of the districts, there's a guard walking towards the door, and the guard
Is
as-
like 20
as
feet
tall
tall.
as the walls.
Yeah.
The door's like too small for him.
Yeah.
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 I
Good
loved
stuff.
it.
Which is fun. Real quick before we move on, I watched a GQ video, or it was either Wired or GQ. They always do those videos where
Yeah.
they talk to one actor or one
Yeah, they're
specialist
kinda
about a thing.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean Bean's one is really funny because he talks about all of his roles, and then I guess to like a video game or something like that, or right before the Oblivion thing, he talks about one voice acting role he had, and then he said, in what all of you might not be aware of, I had a small role in a game known as Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and he just kind of went like, He fucking knows, dude.
Yeah.
Just kind of sat back and make a little bit of a face as he mentioned the small, obscure game.
Yep.
But yeah, Mana Marco, basically as close as you can get to toppling reality, and then at the very last second, you drop the demon blood.
Yeah. And then you forget Sean Bean exists in this universe.
Yeah, and then Sean Bean.
So he's gonna die, but he's gonna do something dope first.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. That's Sean Bean.
Yep.
And he does do something dope.
Yep. All right, Noodle, number 2.
All right, number 2. My number 2 is Mr. X.
Nice.
Which only I mean he
Is that the weird tyrant that hates it when he shoots that off?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
which, I had to pick a Resident Evil one, and I knew you'd be choosing Wesky.
Yeah.
And I was like, Willie Burks. Willie Burks, I don't think counts at all. He does and he doesn't.
Guy, right?
Yeah.
But because he was just trying to do his own thing, really. He's an accidental villain.
Yeah.
He'd still count. Nemesis is cool.
Yeah.
But with Resident Evil 2,
I feel like
being
Nemesis
my
is shock
favorite,
factor cool.
Yeah.
being my favorite and whatnot, Mr. X was terrifying originally.
Yep.
That fucking alabaster face coming after you, and you never knew when he was gonna show up and just fucking double hand fist a video camera or
Isn't
something.
he like the only tyrant with like a normal-ish human face without all the...
Kind of there's more than one Mr. X.
Yeah.
Oh well, shit! I give up immediately. Keep talking.
I mean, there's only the one that shows up in the game, but that he has his
In Resident Evil Survivor, there's many.
Yeah, those versions of the tyrant basically they can come off an assembly line pretty much.
Oh.
So
okay,
he's actually really close to the Terminator. He's big, he's scary, he do what he do, and there's a bunch of him if need be.
I thought there was a bunch of significance
Terminate-esque.
in him, even just getting pissed off that you shoot his hat, implying that he's a very special Mr. X.
Well, that's in the remake.
Yeah,
first
that's
off.
in the remake.
Which
only in the remake. Okay,
Yeah,
then
he didn't have a
sorry,
hat.
I'm uninformed.
No,
Yeah, no,
he didn't originally have a hat.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
But he did have a trench.
yeah, they're intelligent enough, and they gave him a little bit of a personality in remake.
Yeah.
But he's still basically just a killing machine bound to a single objective that he's trying to accomplish.
Yes.
Wait, so if he's basically the same thing as fucking Nemesis in the games rather than the remake, what's different between him and Nemesis? What's the actual difference?
The
In the gameplay, or the difficulty, the scare factor, what's the actual...
Nemesis was a one-off creation that was made in Umbrella's European facilities. So, he came from a different lab, and he was built slightly different than Mr. X was.
Okay.
And, Nemesis's purpose was just to track down and kill the remaining members of the STARS Alpha team.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
just the
and-
Stars
well,
Alpha
just
team, or
Stars
all
in
of
general.
Star?
Ju-
That's
yeah.
what I was about to ask.
Yeah,
I thought it was all Stars.
Because, he kills fucking Flappo McGee.
Yeah, well, Brad was part of Alpha.
Vickers.
Yeah, Brad was part of Alpha Team. The only remaining Bravo Team survivor was Rebecca.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Anyways, he's just terrifying.
Yeah.
Legitimately terrified the shit out of me as a kid. And in the remake, still terrifies the shit out of me.
Yeah, when you hear the sound of those boots, when you know he's somewhere fucking close.
Yeah.
Oof.
Really close.
Yeah. No,
Big scary boy.
he's a scary motherfucker. He is Nick Valentine if Nick Valentine took steroids now.
Nick Valentine's a robot.
Yeah, no, it was a meme I saw back when they started releasing images and gameplay stuff for remake. It was a side-by-side comparison of Nick Valentine.
Like the facial style.
Yeah, and their clothes. So it was Nick Valentine and a picture of Mr. X, and it was styled as a pop-up ad. It was I got jacked in 3 days on the T-virus.
Oh my god.
Click here to find out how.
Oh, that. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Mr. X is dope. I agree.
All right.
My number 2 is Daisaku Kuze from Yakuza 0, which I know I've talked Jimmy's ear off about this particular character.
I don't remember the name because I don't really remember Japanese names the first
No.
time or second or third time I hear them.
He's I showed you that video. He's the guy who ends up chasing you down in the sewers and
No, I know who he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, he's a
Wait, do I?
I know we talked
Is
about
he
it.
eye patch guy?
No, that's Majima. Kuze
Fuck.
was...
See, this is where I'm starting to get confused.
Kuze was the guy who attacks Kiryu in the sewers and gives him, like, the whole speech.
The advice?
Yeah.
Or, like, the hateful advice?
Yeah, like, the whole, like, you know, in the Yakuza life, there's no KOs. You know, the man who gets beat down isn't the loser. It's the guy who doesn't get back up and tough it out to the end. He's the one who loses and then proceeds to, you know, try to kill your ass with a lead pipe. But he's one of those villains that if, like, the story had gone just a little bit differently, he might have actually been the hero of the game. He's a very, very honorable guy. You fight him, like, 4 or 5 different times throughout the entire game, and he always, except for one instance, shows up just by himself to challenge you over and over and over again. And, like, you start out hating his fucking guts because, you know, he's trying to kill your boy Kiryu. Like, that's not a cool thing. But then, like, by the time you get to his final fight, like, he's like, yeah, I sent all of my henchmen out of the districts. It's just you and me. Let's settle this shit right now. And then Kiryu's like, all right, sir, let's do this. And they, like, actually, like, develop a grudging respect for each other. And then when you beat him, he's like, well, I can't beat Kiryu. And he won fair and square. I'm gonna pick myself up, walk down to the police station, and turn myself in because I lost and it's over. And he just calmly and coolly just exited stage left.
Shit.
Just a very, very cool character that, like I said, if the story was a little bit different, might have actually been the hero. But he's old school Yakuza. He's bound to his code. The top dogs told him what to do, and he's gonna fucking do it because in the end, you don't shit on your family, even if it's a Yakuza family.
Well, he hardly even sounds like the villain. He just sounds like the antagonist.
Like, I only put him in villain territory. It's because he has that code. Like, he's working for the bad guys.
Yeah,
and he's honor bound to be working for the bad guys, even though he knows what he's doing is bad, but he has to do it because he made that pledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, just very, very awesome villain. Like I said, I can't recommend Yakuza 0 highly enough, and it was actually, like, watching and reading a bunch of stuff about Kuze himself, I'm like, I should actually pick this game up and play it. And I did, and it made the top 5 of my video games everyone should play. So, yeah, very, very cool guy. Jimbo, number 2.
Jimmy? Mix up the order.
Christ.
Oh, yeah, this is the one where I thought it was kind of a cheat because, like, the main character isn't the good guy. He's actually kind of a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Nico Bellic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nico Bellic is probably my number 2 favorite villain because when you play the game subjectively, from beginning to end, Nico Bellic's the good guy. He does the least worst shit. He wants to be left alone. He wants to have a peaceful life in America.
Yep.
That would have been cool, but man, like you seem to snatch up any illegal opportunity to make money, whether or not you need it.
Yeah.
Like, Nico Bellic, not a good guy. It like, maybe if I met him at a bar and we became friends and, like, I needed help, I'd call his ass. But I know that I was calling a fucking criminal to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, his entire character development from right off the boat illegal immigrant to illegal immigrant who's kind of knowing what he's doing in America and how everyone acts, like, I would have to go through half the plot of Grand Theft Auto 4 to explain how much I love this character, but he's a horrible person that you can't not kind of like all the time and not be fucking crushed when someone very dear to him dies.
Yep.
And Grand Theft Auto 4 might be better than Grand Theft Auto 5 for me, only because Nico Bellic.
Yeah,
Nico Bellic has the character quality and writing of, like, maybe Michael and Frank. Not quite the crazy guy.
Oh, Trevor?
Yeah, Trevor. Okay, so Trevor, different tier.
Yeah.
But Franklin and Michael put together is not enough of they're not as good combined as Nico Bellic is.
Yeah, like, minor spoiler alert for the next podcast when we do Heroes, Franklin is going to be somewhere on my list.
How?
Because I like Franklin.
Franklin knows that these guys are fucking batshit crazy, and he still does shit with them.
Yeah, I know. Like,
hey, next podcast.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. He's gonna be somewhere on my list, and I'll explain it then.
Yeah, Niko Bellic is just an extremely relatable human being.
Yeah.
Which is bad because you can relate to being a bad person a lot.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where he stands. Like, whenever he does something and you're like, oh, hell yeah, you're like, oh, shit, he just, like, committed 6 crimes.
Yeah. And he also hangs out with Jacob, which, man, I love Jacob.
The blood clot man.
The blood clot man. Yeah, no, I
Jacob.
Yeah.
And Bruce.
Yeah.
Brucey. What's that dude's name? The voice actor for Brucey?
Gumby.
No, he's that ridiculous. One of those ridiculous actors on the level of like Charlie Sheen of how crazy they are. Busey.
Oh, Gary Busey.
No, his son.
Jake Busey.
Jake Busey voices fucking that guy.
Right, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, that's what I was like, oh, fucking.
We just saw a Jake Busey movie at Walmart.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Jake Busey plays. Wow, I forgot the actual character's name. The fucking steroided out workout alcoholic.
Brucey?
Oh shit, his name is Brucey. Yeah. So Brucey Busey. Grand Theft Auto 4 is so good.
It is. It really is.
If I could get Grand Theft Auto 4 with like even Grand Theft Auto 5 graphics, I would be so happy.
Me too.
So happy. And like the size, like the proportion of the map expanded, more stuff added, like let me rephrase. If Grand Theft Auto 4 had the same content as Grand Theft Auto 5 with totally different settings and characters, I'd pick Grand Theft Auto 4 every time.
Yeah, that's fair. I probably would too.
Except for the Trevor part.
Yeah.
He's the wild card.
Yeah.
Trevor's so good.
Yep.
But that's a discussion for another time. Not next week, but eventually.
Yeah. So, move on to honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I don't really have that many.
It's okay, I don't either.
King DDD.
Yeah.
Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy was one of the first games, probably the first game I ever played, and remember my first time beating old King, getting all the way through it and beating King DDD when I was like 6. Not a difficult game, although it was difficult for me at the time. I have the game on
You're
my
figuring
DS
out cursive,
and
so
the
this
original
video game is hard.
And I actually have the exact copy of the game that I had back then. And yeah, whole lot easier to just play through now. Although some of the bosses are still dickheads.
But a little bit spammy or a little bit cheap,
but
probably.
King DDD, and the way he's evolved, and from back then he was like, to my like 6
Kirby
or 7, like 6-year-old mind, he was terrible.
Yeah.
And just scary whenever I got to him. But and now he's just a big fucking retard. But
yeah, basically.
I really wanted to get good with him in Smash. I tried playing him for so long and just couldn't do it.
Yeah, dude, I know, right? He's like Bowser, but awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
So King DDD, I mean Alfred Ashford, right?
Yeah.
What?
The villain of Resident Evil Code Veronica. Just this fucking weirdo. Like,
how about you explain the connection between the two and then explain the weirdo?
Okay.
Are they both just crazy and eventually not taken seriously?
I don't see how you could take Alfred Ashford seriously.
Oh, okay, yeah, keep going.
I mean, other than the fact that, he does have access to umbrella things.
Yeah, viruses and money. And he's nuts. He's a nutso rich boy who runs an island.
So his twin sister, I forget, his twin sister's dead.
No,
right?
she's not dead.
And he cross-dresses as her?
No, like, she left. So the thing you have, like, for whatever else you want to say about these characters, both of them were incredibly smart because they were the kids of Alexander Ashford, who's like one of the head founders of Umbrella Corp. So they were like stupid smart, but also fucking sociopaths, like just to the extreme. So the sister Alexia ends up developing the T Veronica virus. She injects herself with it, and then she basically like goes into stasis to allow her body to like slowly adapt to the virus. So when she comes out, she's basically a super being.
Yeah.
So she left a long time ago, and Alfred like was already fucking crazy, and there's possibly incest going on in this relationship.
Oh, boy.
So he just goes completely off his rocker and starts cross-dressing as his twin sister and like having conversations with himself, kind of. He's nuts. He's just he's insane. And, like, even when he shows up, just, like, the way he speaks and laughs, like, you see this guy, and he's, like, dressed up in, like, very, like, military-esque noble gear, and is, like, trying to snipe Claire with a sniper rifle. He's like, "Ah, Claire Redfield, I see you got out of your cage." You just see this guy's like, "I can't take you seriously, dude. Who the fuck are you?"
And then he shoots at you. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, he's full-bore nuts, but he's right up there with fucking Salazar from Resident Evil 4 for just ridiculous, crazy, over-the-top villainy. Yeah. So, Alfred, good choice.
Yeah. I mean, I could say... what's his damn name? The police chief from Jet Set Radio.
Oh, shit,
Future.
I don't remember.
I don't remember his name, but he was very entertaining as well. Just a goofball. There's not much to say about it. He just sucks and can't stop the boys. If I think of any others while you guys are talking, I'll say them.
Alright, so my first two honorable mentions are Voss Montenegro and Pagan Min from the Far Cry series.
You cunt.
I told you they were going to be on my list.
I didn't put Voss on there just because I knew he'd be there.
But yeah,
I knew someone would say Voss somewhere.
Voss is...
No, I didn't actually pick either one of those.
Oh, yeah.
I fixed my list after we talked about Var, but still, you cunt.
Yeah, but like, just Voss, like, he's already entertaining enough in the game, but then, like,
he's very entertaining.
You go and watch his YouTube series where he...
the choose an adventure fucking series.
Yeah, with fucking McLovin from...
it's so
from
good.
Superbad, where like McLovin goes to like the Rook Island and he's like filming like a commercial or something for Far Cry 3, and Voss is actually on the island and like kills off his entire recording party and ends up kidnapping McLovin and like burying him up to his neck.
Oh no! You're skipping the part where McLovin actually kills a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, no, McLovin
by accident-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, like he eventually arms up and like he tries to be the Far Cry protagonist, but then Voss just gets him and puts him on the beach and buries him, and he's like takes McLovin's camera. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna put it out to the viewers on YouTube. You get to vote whether or not I kill McLovin." And then like McLovin like actually dies, and then he's like, "Chris, hey Chris."
Yeah,
Chris.
He's legitimately distressed that he's dead.
Chris, wake the fuck up, Chris! Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
What's the rest of the quote?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So Voss is great. I wouldn't want to be within 100 miles of Voss. Like, he might just kill me on a whim.
Yeah.
But Pagan Min, though. Like, if Pagan Min called me up right now and be like, "Hey, you want to come to Karat and eat some crab rangoon and shoot some guns?" I'd be like, "Yeah."
Right.
All right.
And that's what he means. He's like,
yeah.
You want to have like some shitty Chinese food and like kill some people in a country you've never heard of? Maybe. There's a lot of crab rangoon. All right, I'm in.
Oh yeah, no, you had me at crab rangoon, but no, just his ridiculous pink suit and his overall character, like taking a selfie with Ajay at the beginning of the game, and then just straight telling him, just like, "Wait here. I'll be right back."
There's some shit going on outside. I'll be right back.
Yeah, and turns out, if you just stay there, you get the best ending in the game. He lets you put your mom's ashes next to your sister, and he's like, "All right, man, like, we're cool.
You want to go shoot some guns?"
Yeah, you want to go shoot some guns? Like, we're cool, man. Like, let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
I would love to party with Pagan Min.
I love Far Cry 3's, like, secret endings. They're less secret and more like, go AFK and you'll get the best ending.
Yeah. So, my next honorable mention is Akuma from Street Fighter. There's really not much to say about him. He's
unless you're like me and you don't know anything about his character, really.
Yeah, he's almost borderline not a villain. Like, the whole thing he wants to do is he wants to find someone who can beat him. Like, that's the long and short of his character arc. But the way he goes about it, unfortunately, is very villainous. Like, he knows Ryu, he knows what he can do. He's like, "Ryu, if you give in to the dark side, you will be able to beat me." It's not actually how Akuma sounds, but that's the whole plot. So he just, like, kills or maims a bunch of Ryu's friends trying to get him to give in to the dark side. If he just didn't do that, he wouldn't be a villain. But he does. And
he's like evil Goku.
Yeah, he's evil Goku. Like, he will never not fight somebody in a fair fight.
I want to be the best around, even if I have to burn everything to the ground.
Yeah. like Akuma is the best.
That was a perfect rhyme. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say it didn't rhyme.
Yeah, like Akuma is the best. He just wants to find somebody better because he wants to have a fun fight.
Sounds like he has a suicide wish. He's like, can you please kill me? If I can kill you, I'm not going to want to die. But if you can kill me, please kill me.
Yeah, no. But he's always very honorable about it. He'll always fight you one-on-one. Just, try not to die.
Yeah.
I had Rossetti on my honorable mentions, but we already talked about Rossetti. So, that...
Fucking Rossetti. I don't even know who this guy is, and I'm the most pissed about him out of this entire list so far.
Yeah.
If you don't save before you turn the... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I feel like I had one more that I was thinking about, but I might have gone and forgot. So, Jimbo, give me your honorable mentions, and I'll turn it over in my head. Try to remember what I was saying.
All right, my first honorable mention is Master Hand, Super Smash Bros. 64. Yeah.
Here comes the
Master Hand.
Just the concept of the Master Hand being the metaphysical representation of a toy, like a child playing with his toys and having ultimate power over them. Like, it's really silly and would make a great child movie. But it's also kind of cool. Like,
yeah.
I love like that was one of the first games. Not one of the first games I ever played, but one of the first games I ever consciously kept playing when I was really young. Like, I love Smash Brothers from, 6 onwards.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, the whole, the villager, the...
Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing, yeah. It was like, yeah, I beat this game when I was, 6 or 7. Fucking Master Hand's so cool. He's a big hand, and blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of figure out that he's just the hand moving the toys around and playing with them and
Kirby's
stuff.
Dream Land.
Well, I didn't know that. Fuck you, too. Linky Stinky
Baby. Ooh, I remembered my one, but I'll wait until you're done talking about Master Hand.
Oh yeah, no, there's no lore behind him.
No.
I just thought he was really cool, and I still think it's kind of cool that Master Hand's kind of like the fourth wall breaking manifestation of a godlike power of someone picking your toy up and playing with it.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And then my other runner-up is just GLaDOS from Portal.
GLaDOS is
Just
very entertaining.
non-stop shit talking.
Yep.
Oh god, like it fulfills a little bit of my soul. Just like I play the game to listen to her say some shit, Shell.
Yeah.
Like that's what keeps me going. I want to know the next line that GLaDOS has.
Yep. Yep. So the one I forgot it wasn't really on my radar until Smash, weirdly enough. Ridley from Metroid.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't unless you read the comics and the manga, which I did. In the games, you don't really get a whole lot of Ridley's character, as a
he's
person.
just there as a monster-looking thing.
Yeah, but like in the comics and the mangas and stuff, he's really smart and extremely vindictive and vicious and shit like that. So his reveal trailer for Smash Ultimate, where he's going and picking off all the heroes that are behind Samus and shit, and then he just picks up Mario's hat and spins it around on his finger. So you can actually see his insane sadistic personality. Ridley's a really fucking cool villain.
Yeah.
Sadly, outside of the Metroid games, but still really cool. And then you get Cyber Ridley and Omega Ridley.
Do they need Cyber Ridley? At what point does Ridley need Cyber?
When he got fucked up really bad by Samus and they had to rebuild him.
Yeah, sounds about right playing Samus.
Yeah.
Probably fucked him up real good.
Oh yeah, because he's never beaten Samus, and that's the one thing that's really keeping him going through all the times where he's almost died. He's I can't die until I fucking kill Samus.
The only thing I know about Ridley not being able to kill Samus is from just Super Metroid, where you fight him, and then I think you fight him twice, and in both times you don't kill each other at all.
Yeah.
The fight ends.
Yeah.
And he's I can feel a little thing, a little bit of a rivalry thing going on here. Maybe a hate type thing.
Yeah, because Ridley was part of the raiding party that killed Samus's parents.
Yeah.
And I think it was at their final battle in Metroid Prime 1 is where he got damaged enough that they had to rebuild him as Cyber Ridley.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Cyber Ridley, which is why I'm a little confused. I didn't know he He already looked like a metal dragon.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ. What are you doing? Adding metal blood?
I mean, replacing lost limbs and shit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but so that's all. That's all I had for runners up. What about you? Any more?
No.
No.
Was good.
All right.
I'm trying to think of a quick, fast pop one. Yeah, I got nothing.
Like, well,
I was trying to think of a name from a Saints Row game, and I just couldn't.
Oh, Zinyak, dude, Zinyak from Saints Row 4 is great.
I meant the Saints Row series, not Saints Row 4.
Oh,
because the series is over after 3. 4 is a fucking hilariously awesome spin-off story.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. He's not really.
I was trying to think of the name of the guy who leads the anti-gang military in Saints Row 3.
Oh, right. I know who you're talking about. You kill him at the beginning of Saints Row 4.
Wait, no, that's not what I was saying. I was thinking of the Japanese dude from Saints Row 2 who kills
Alicia. Yeah. That guy.
You have no idea who you're talking about, right?
No, but he does that
Yeah,
in the game. It makes him suck his cock. He's like on the
Shogo Akuji.
Yeah. How the fuck can you just recall that? Okay.
The only reason I remember that, the only reason I really remember that villain at all, other than the blow me bit, and when Johnny Gat and the protagonist are like shooting at cans in their hideout, and Johnny's like, "Man, I hope he's still screaming," and then your character's like, "He's probably suffocated by now, right?" But no, the only other thing I really remember about that character was he was voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, who voiced Spider-Man in the Spider-Man PS4 game, voiced Sasuke and Naruto, and also his bike in Saints Row 2 was the bike from Akira.
Really?
Yeah, they even called it the Kaneda, which is another Akira reference.
Things you learn every day.
Yep.
Shit. No, my favorite thing about him was his death.
Yeah.
Just him getting his shit kicked in by Johnny Gat.
Yep.
Like, oof. That was another one of those, just pure satisfaction. I might as well just lay the controller down, lay back, and just kind of
bask in it.
Keep going.
Also, the not really a villain, but has to do with a villain. The wrestler, the luchador character from Saints Row 3. I don't remember his name, but the guy you recruit, who was like his rival, was voiced by Hulk Hogan.
Oh. Huh.
Like the disgraced luchador wrestler.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's in the trailer for Saints Row 3.
Yeah, voiced by Hulk Hogan.
Shit, okay.
I'm sad that character never came back for Saints Row 4. But also, Zinyak in Saints Row 4 deserves an honorable mention, because Zinyak is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I guess if you're an alien overlord, you might as well learn all of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sure, fucking go for it.
Alright, so on to number ones.
Oh yeah.
Number ones.
Alright. We'll see if you can guess mine from this quote.
Alright.
And he gets this on... He might be my favorite... Well, he's definitely my favorite character in the whole series as well. But, so... Maybe I am nothing but a fat, disgusting piece of shit. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're smart, dumb, ugly, pretty. It's all the same once you're dead, and a corpse can't laugh. From now on, if anybody makes fun of me, I'll kill him!
Oh, is that Eddie from...
Eddie Dombrowski
from Silent Hill 2. Nice.
I'll show you a picture of him, Jimmy.
Yeah, I was about to say, that kind of started being familiar, and then you lost me towards the end.
The new dub of Silent Hill 2 for the HD collection, that character is voiced by fucking Liam O'Brien, who voiced War in Darksiders.
Yeah, that's right. I think I remember you.
And, actually, here, I'll make it even better for Jimmy. That character that I was talking about, the voice actor voiced Gaara in the English dub of Naruto.
Oh, fuck you.
So this is him. He's really pretty.
Oh, God.
He He kind of just sits around. You have a boss battle with him near the end of the game.
Autistic or
he might be.
Yeah, he might be. You have a boss battle with him near the end of the game, and before that, you kind of run into him many times. Like, well, not many, but a few times.
Like, what's his deal? Is he just harassing you, or do you just run
there.
across him doing his thing?
Yeah, he's mostly just doing his thing. He's just in Silent Hill like you are, and he's just fucking. I mean, at one point, he's just sitting there eating pizza.
Yeah, isn't he like in a bowling alley or something?
Yep, he's just hanging out in the bowling alley eating pizza for a while.
Yep, and isn't it
being fat?
Don't you fight him the final time in like a butcher shop or something like that?
You can like hit him with the pieces of meat.
Yeah,
I think. Or maybe the meat's best for hiding behind because he has a revolver that does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But if you have the Pyramid Head's knife...
Yeah, well then you can fuck him up.
Friggin', kill him in like 2 shots.
No, you can get his knife though.
Yeah. What does he use for the rest of the game? Another knife?
I think
there's several. You see like 4 near the end.
Yeah, I think like...
Oh, so he has several different giant dragon knives.
No. There's like
4 different pyramid heads.
4 different pyramid heads.
But I think if you take the knife...
Oh!
Yeah.
I thought Pyramid Head was like an actual single person, and that was his...
No, he's
There's kind of a thing behind it.
Yeah, but he's mostly a manifestation of whatever's fucked up in James's head.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think if you take the knife, if you run into Pyramid Head again, I think he switches to a spear.
Yeah, because I thought...
Well, he has a spear when you fight like 2 of them for a while.
Yeah.
And then no matter what, they both like synchronized die.
Yeah.
They like plant the butt of the spear and just onto it. So just jam the spear point into their...
As far as I know from Silent Hill, you don't fight Pyramid Head? You
do.
run away from him.
You have an actual...
Is that only like the first game or something?
You have an actual fight with him at one point, and what you can do is you can either stay away from him long enough for him to get bored and leave, or do enough damage to force him to leave.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's pretty dumb to try and fight him there. You're just going to waste a lot of ammo.
Yeah.
And probably get fucked up.
But you don't know that first time playing through.
Yeah, he's super easy to avoid.
Yeah, the first time...
If you aren't trying to attack him or anything.
Yeah, the very first time I played that game, I dumped all of my ammo into him, but unfortunately he was glitched. Like, the area you fight him in, like, there's a staircase leading down that he leaves from, but he was, like, walking towards the staircase, but he got caught on, like, the railing, so he was just stuck in a walk animation where I was just kept shooting him over and over again, and like expecting him to fall down dead like a normal boss.
You like thought you caught him in some glitch, and you're like, "Oh fuck yeah, I got him!"
And then finally I stopped shooting and like moved around to see if I could exit the door I came in from, and then he just like backed up and then just walked down the stairs and left.
And you're just like, "Oh my bullets!"
God damn it!
Fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, talk about Eddie.
Eddie.
Yeah.
He's just a fat fucking weirdo who's obviously been bullied quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he's just completely off his rocker. I know there's a bunch of theories to why he's in Silent Hill.
Yeah, I think it was... No, he was the one who was bullied.
Yeah, he was bullied.
Yeah, like I kept thinking, like, did his dad abuse him? But no, that's Angela. That's a different character.
Yeah.
I feel like he just got fucking trashed by other kids, and then he grew up and kept getting trashed by other young adults, and kept growing and just kept getting trashed.
Well, I think he's supposed to be like a teenager, maybe like 17 years old or something like that.
Fresh in the middle of the worst part.
Yeah.
But he's just ridiculous. All of his dialogue is silly. And then when you fight him, he looks even more silly because he's running around with his revolver, and he's just a fucking goofball. But he prompts some of the best dialogue in the game. The fucking when he's eating the pizza and James comes in just baffled and is just like, the whole town is going to hell. How can you just sit there eating pizza? I'll do what I want. He's just a complete fucking retard, really. And I love him for it.
Yeah, he's a mess. Alright, since you did that, like, I have no doubt that you will be able to figure out my favorite villain from my quote. Alright, ready? Foolishness, Dante. Foolishness. Might controls everything, and without strength, you can't hope to protect anyone, let alone yourself.
Yeah, Dracula.
No.
Virgil?
There you go.
Virgil.
Yep. Virgil from the Devil May Cry series. And I picked Virgil as my favorite because I haven't really encountered anyone of the same breed of villainy that Virgil is. Granted, I don't...
The same breed of... I mean, you mean Inuyasha's brother, right?
What?
Sesshomaru?
Yeah.
Basically almost the exact same character.
Kind of. Like, I'm speaking strictly video game, not like movies or TV shows or anything else for this comparison. Granted, I don't play a lot of like high fantasy video games outside of like Elder Scrolls. But anyway, so real quick, Virgil's whole character arc is that he wants to get more power. He wants to become stronger and more powerful because back in the day, him and Dante's parents were killed. And he grew up thinking that his mom abandoned him, which wasn't actually the case. She went and hid Dante and then tried to come back for Virgil, ended up getting killed in the process. So he starts out wanting more power just because he doesn't ever want to feel helpless like that again. And then he finds out his mom didn't abandon him, so he wants more power to keep himself and like the two people he actually loves safe. And he doesn't actually hate Dante. Like, he wants to be better than Dante because twin sibling rivalry is a thing, and Dante keeps getting in the way of his plans. Like, that's about it. Because normally on a villainy scale, you like get the villains who want to control everything and the villains who want to destroy everything. Virgil doesn't want either of those. He just wants more powerful. But the thing that makes him a villain is when he tries to gain more power, the 2 times he does it by raising demonic structures in the middle of Redgrave City. He kills probably tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of people by his actions alone. But he never kills them personally. And the thing about Virgil is those people don't matter to him. He doesn't care. Like, whether they lived or die doesn't make a bit of fucking difference to Virgil. He just straight...
humans.
Like, he doesn't even really have a problem with humanity. He just doesn't care.
About people. He doesn't care about humanity.
He doesn't care about anything except for him and the couple of couple of people that he likes.
Yeah.
So not just humans, but literally anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't care.
I mean, there's not much else other than demons and humans, so he hates all demons, cool.
Angels.
Well, angels never really appear in the Devil May
Yeah, I was
Cry
about to
series,
say.
weirdly enough. That's more of a Bayonetta thing.
They need
whatever.
to, like, I figure they would show up eventually. There's, what, 5 games?
6.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the spin-off / reboot, which I'm not counting that as part of the main timeline.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, in that entire time, not a single fucking angel was like, yo,
well,
where are all these fucking demons at?
Well, in the spin-off DMC game, Dante and Virgil aren't half human, half demon. They're actually half human, half angel. So angels are a thing in that game, but that game has nothing to do whatsoever with the main 5.
Well, I'm not asking if angels exist. I'm just like, man,
you'd think they would
neat if they would like
show
poke
up.
their head in and be like,
"What up?"
Oh shit, Earth is covered in a weird demon human. Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, but also he's also one of those very honorable people. He'll fight you one-on-one. He'll never stab you in the back. He's never actually betrayed anybody except for the one guy he was working with in Devil May Cry 3. But even then, it didn't really count because it was all part of that guy's plan. Like, Virgil made the mistake of teaming up with, like, the one guy who was actually smarter than he was. And even then...
Whoa.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Who was he teamed up with? Because from what I understand, that Virgil was, like, the most intelligent of one of the recurring main characters of the series.
Yeah, it was...
Bubsy from Bubsy 3D.
No.
Probably.
No, in Devil May Cry 3, he teamed up with a human named Arkham. Like... He met this guy in a library, and the guy walks up to him. He's like, "So, like, you're looking for like books on like ancient demon structures?" And Virgil's just like, "No, leave me alone." And then the guy's like, "Well, I know some stuff, and I can help you get your dad's sword." And then Virgil's like, "All right, let's see what you got." And then it turns out it was a whole part of Arkham's plan to take Sparta's sword for himself and transform himself into a demon lord. So he was planning to betray Virgil all along. He knew Virgil would eventually betray him over the sword, so he was the fucking chess master, where most people were like, "Oh yeah, no, it's all Virgil's plan." No, it actually wasn't. He was just working with Virgil because it was convenient, and he needed Virgil's blood to activate the demon tower.
Shit.
Yeah, so like, he made the mistake of teaming up with the one guy smarter than he was.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Virgil's one of those rare villains, like, he could just straight not be a villain if it weren't for the fact that his actions resulted in the deaths of a whole lot of people.
Yeah, more like a careless thing than like, yeah, fuck humanity, let's wipe them out. More like, yeah, I don't give a shit if I step on some ants.
Yeah, pretty much. He's one of those villains, and like I said, I haven't seen many of those in video games, but I also have like a very set genre of video games I play, so there's probably more villains like that out there somewhere. I just haven't played those games yet.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Virgil's just a very cool character, and like his whole character arc in 5 is just great. Like I hope they make a Devil May Cry 6 because Virgil is very definitely getting into hero territory as of the end of that game, which is very fucking cool. Yeah. And now we wait for Jimbo to get back from the piss to hear his number 1 pick.
I know what it is.
Is it Ganondorf?
No.
Oh. Is it Joseph Seed from Far Cry 5?
No.
I don't want to look at his list. I want to be like, those were the 2 I was thinking were going to be his number 1 pick. So it's probably going to be a surprise when he finally gets back and tells us.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I guess we'll do a little brief intermission. I had a fun little encounter the other day.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't by any means the craziest, crackhead encounter I've ever had, but like he wasn't, the Lord of the Crows or of the Gulls or anything like that. But I'm out there. It was on the first at work. I'm out having a smoke. I hear this guy walking from back behind the building, so I kind of angle myself so I can see, who's coming.
Yeah.
It's this guy, his whole coat was just like covered in frost and everything.
Oof.
And I was like, this guy's been out in the cold for a while.
Yeah.
But he comes up to me, like he's walking right by me. I'm trying to ignore him because I'm like, just from the look of this guy, he's going to ask for a cigarette. I know he's going to ask for a cigarette, so I'm going to stare at my phone and pretend like I don't see him. And so he's walking by, and he's got this weird accent, and he goes, "Hey, do you have smoking lamp?" I was like, smoking lamp? Like, the only thing I could think was a lighter.
Yeah.
And the other thing immediately was Grandma's Boy. At the beginning, where the guy's like, "You forgot smoking lamp," and throws the bong. Which is exactly what the guy was referring to. I was like, smoking lamp? And he was like, yeah, like a bong. I was like, no. He's like, okay, and just kept going. It's like, what makes you think if I had a bong, I would let fucking you use it? I just got it. Let me just grab my bong from my pocket. Maybe he thought maybe I had a pipe on me or something.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, first off, why would I let a random stranger who looks like you use it? Like, you have to know what you look like.
Yeah.
And then, secondly, even if you're you, why would you want to use a stranger's bong? Like,
right.
Going both ways. I mean, granted, I look like a normal human.
Yeah.
And you look like a crackhead. So even if I'm a normal human who smokes weed, which is a pretty rare thing when I do, first off, I mean, technically, he doesn't know I work at Three Bears, so there's that. I could just be a guy sitting there smoking, whatever. But even for him, he shouldn't. Although he's probably got everything in the book already, so
yeah,
I'm sure he already has oral herpes, so he's not even worried about it.
Yeah,
and doesn't give a fuck if he gives them to me.
Herbs.
But yeah, it was just a silly. He just had a little one-off arc in my life that didn't actually matter to the overall plot, but it was somewhat entertaining.
Well, speaking of arc, real quick, something. I want to go back to a previous podcast, the Predator versus Spider-Man podcast. Don't worry, that argument's already settled. But that arc I was telling you about, where Spider-Man had to craft 4 separate identities, I found it. It was called Identity Crisis, and he had to do that because he got framed for murder, and every bounty hunter in existence was after Spider-Man.
You're right. All right, Jimmy. Number 1.
Number 1!
Joseph Seed.
I knew it! I fucking called it!
Well, when I said no, I gave you a big old wink.
Oh, I couldn't see it.
I winked.
Sorry. Didn't see it.
We talked about this in the car.
Yeah, no, I knew he was. I figured he was going to be somewhere on your list, but
I only picked number 1 because my entire game world crumbled when I realized that most of my favorite games did not have a single person as a great or even prominent villain. But in Far Cry 4 or
5.
Yeah, Far Cry 5 and Far Cry New Dawn.
Yep.
Joseph Seed is basically think modern Charles Manson minus the let's kill it ourselves at the end type thing.
Yeah.
And sets up a very militant type of apocalyptic seer type weird like end of the world's coming sort of cult.
Yeah.
Except they're really fucking serious about it. And they start taking over
Montana. Hope County, Montana.
Yeah, Hope County, Montana. And the thing about this is the first Far Cry game that takes place in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Shit.
It is. Yeah. And for me, the reason why this is like my number 1 and not just a runners up or even number 5 is because I personally am kind of obsessed with cults and cult leaders.
Yeah.
Like just that whole
It's interesting.
thing. It just is.
Yeah.
Like how does one person influence that much? And this game cranks all that shit to like 12.
Yeah.
It's so over the top. There's almost no subtlety to it. Like it's just so in your face with enough not in your face for it to be interesting rather than just like the screaming raving of a madman. And he starts a militant cult in Hope County, Montana that eventually takes over the giant valley they're in. And at the start of Far Cry 5, you're a federal marshal who's a rookie, and you're in with like your more experienced partner, and you're partnered up with
Sheriff Whitehorse.
Damn, dude, yeah, I know. No, I didn't think.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sheriff Whitehorse.
Played by Alistair from Supernatural.
Shit, really?
Yeah, which is weird when you think about the fact that Jacob Seed was played by Lucifer.
I knew that part.
Yeah.
Anyway, you show up to this place and like you're in with the sheriff in the helicopter, and he's literally the entire time on the way there is like, yeah, you guys really shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
why are we here?
We should go.
Yeah, we should really just leave while we can.
Yep.
And then they're like, no, we're going here. We're doing this. And he's like, okay, can you at least let me do all the talking and please don't touch your guns? Yep. And like I said, this is basically a cult turned up to like Mad Max levels of what? How is the Coast Guard not come in and whatever? And
yeah, how has the military not stomped these guys out yet?
Yeah. And but Joseph Seed is like the typical like manipulative, like all sorts of lies, this whole hierarchy and the yada yada, the mystery of all this other shit. And then you start after playing Far Cry 5 in the spinoff, you realize that he didn't convince himself that this was right. He was actually just right.
Yeah, he was right. He really had visions from God.
Yeah, he straight up had visions from God, and they saw the end, and he just took that message and just twisted it in half and started fucking it with a buck knife.
Yeah.
So he started murdering anyone who didn't want to join just almost immediately.
Yep.
And, yeah, he is... I can't talk about his character too much without spoiling major things in both games. But I will say that...
Well, I think in like the favorite games and stuff, you did touch on all of this quite a bit.
Yeah,
I did, which is why I'm trying to struggle with not saying the same shit over and over. But he's my top villain for right now, because I'm still on the end waves of the high of how awesome Far Cry 5 and the spinoff was. Haven't played it in a couple months, but gives you chills. Like it's so over the top to where it's not realistic, but like just surrender, just give in, and it's so good. Like you believe almost every single word he says.
Yeah.
Even when he says some crazy, ridiculous, like delusional shit where like he must be just proselytizing to his fucking cultists and stuff like that. No, he's not. Even to him, it's Joseph Seed's probably one of my favorite antagonists. He survives the game that he lives in. Oh, yeah. He survives Far Cry 5.
Yep.
You don't kill him. In
Nope.
fact, the best ending is you realizing that, yeah, the apocalypse is about to happen, and you're in Joseph Seed's bunker.
Yeah.
As the main character, and he tells you, yeah, I guess I was right, wasn't I?
Well, I think the best ending is, again, where you just leave.
Oh, well, yeah, well, I mean, that's technically the best ending.
Yeah.
But it's implied the apocalypse still happens, whether or not you're there.
Yeah.
Like...
But, with the ending where you just leave, that ends with the main character possibly surviving and not getting brainwashed by Joseph Seed.
Yeah, and then he dies in a nuclear war that happens, 2 days later or some shit.
Or maybe that character survives, who knows. But sadly, that's not the canon ending, so...
Actually, no, the character does survive. He becomes the judge in the spinoff.
Yeah, but
the companion.
There's also the ending where, you get to the end, and then...
And you arrest him, and then you leave with the two cop, the marshal and the cop guy, and then you hear the tune in your head, and you go brainwash and just assumedly kill them in the car.
Yeah, and then there's the other ending where you're leaving, and the nukes go off, and everyone's like, oh shit, he was right! And then they all just die in the nuclear explosion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's one of my favorite villains because he's one of the few villains that's just straight up right.
Yeah.
Just straight up. And he even admits in the spinoff that, he was unnecessarily brutal and efficient because he knew there wasn't much time left. There's no time to convince people to join. Yeah. And just play the game or just watch a nice long YouTube video and get a good feel for the character. He's one of the greats of the last 5-ish years. I'm not going to say the whole decade between 2010 and 2020, but the last several years, mwah.
Yeah. Virgil was not going to be my top favorite, just because I want to talk about it a bit more, unless you have some more to say on Joseph Seed.
I've never seen a psychopathic, murdering, receiving visions from God person ever be so deeply affected by a sibling's death.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, Joseph Seed does have the award for the best ever rendered snot in video game history.
Oh, yeah. Total accident, by the way.
Yeah.
They kept it in because it fit.
Yep. But, no, I just recently played through Devil May Cry 5 again, and Virgil made the top of my list for, the very, the bonus end credits scene that you can only get if you kill, 50 demons during the credits or something like that.
Yeah.
So, basically, at the end of the game, Dante and Virgil go down to hell and seal off the portal from that side, so no more demons can come through. So they're just hanging out in hell and just fighting just because there's nothing else to do. And Dante ends up knocking down Virgil, and Dante's like, yeah, all right, score 1 for Dante. I'm up by 1. And Virgil just looks at him and goes, where did you learn to count? We're even. And you just get to see them actually acting like brothers, and it's great.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's our picks for top 5 favorite villains. I want to end it here because I want to get the Switch hooked up for some Smashery.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah. So, thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, comment, go donate to the Patreon page. Follow me on Twitter at TacoStarvedBeast, and we will see you next time.
Also, play Far Cry 5. It's so good. It's really short. You'll love it.
Yeah, just play all of it.
It's a Michael Bay movie mixed with a Charles Manson investigation case. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, if we're saying that, you should really play all of these games.
It's pretty good.
Yep. All right. We're done. Thank you. Goodbye.